guy. It's like,
Yeah, pretty much, man.
mommy is a stranger in the
Actually,
house.
I think I did that once because my dad has
Real life too,
always
by the way.
had a full beard. I mean, always. And
Yeah.
I remember them telling me one time as a kid he shaved it off, and he came out, and I did not know who he was. And you're just, I mean, I guess it's the thing, right? Your kid as a kid, your mind is not developed enough to actually be able to differentiate what's what. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nuts, man. Let me see if I can get this.
You guys
to
wanna do a
work
thing?
while I was talking with you boys. One
what are you
sec.
doing? What's your thing?
Oh, you're doing it now?
Said, do you want to do
We set it up the other day. We were fucking with it.
What's the
last
thing
night,
we're
but
gonna
I
do?
don't think it'll work at the moment.
The podcast.
Just
Are we
what I'm
live?
doing.
We are live, yeah.
Hey,
Oh, I don't have my
there you go.
monitors. Oh my god, that's
Oh
Oh
my
shit, it's not
lord!
working.
That is-
It's not working with the camera. So yeah, you can hook this up. So it basically, if I had it done it the right way, this would be working off my face. It'd be moving with my lips when my lips move.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
That's
I'll show you
amazing.
guys how it probably works later on.
That's fantastic.
That's
I know you
super
were
awesome.
that you're sending me. Did you figure out, or are you using that
Yeah, we
plugin?
figured it out, but to be able to, the only reason I'm not doing it now for like lols is you need licensing to be able to do anything with it. So I'm trying to negotiate with the company for like a broader license. If I can pull it off, I'll let you know and send you links, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That's hilarious.
Because just it's so fucking random. Because you can do like that, or you can do like 2D anime. So the idea of like all of us looking like little senpai chicks.
Like
Oh, dude,
the gorillas.
Wait a minute, could I be
Yeah.
like Ichigo for a day or something like that? Like,
So you can use all the ones that are in there. They have like a little store. You get like, and then the one that's really crazy is if you go into the Steam store. So many people have done like custom shit, and there's like full blown like borderline hentai fucking porn in there. There's
Oh,
the
God.
creepiest
God.
shit already, and it's only been out for like a month. So yeah, the internet's doing what the internet does.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna get some more coffee, and then we'll be ready to go.
this man.
Sweet.
Sick. I'm gonna post this over.
I
on
thought
the,
I was worried about being
Noob.
late. So, for my birthday yesterday, the girl that I'm seeing, she is having a terrible migraine headache, so we just decided to postpone our date for next weekend. So I decided to be an ultimate stoner gamer yesterday, and I smoked copious amounts of marijuana. I ordered Taco Bell for
You?
lunch. And I had Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza for dinner. And let me tell you that this pizza, Ashy, was so effing good, man. Like,
I believe it.
I
Pizza's
couldn't.
the best.
But it's just like it's like the coal fire one, so it was like kind of burnt a little bit. It had that like nice
The crispy.
charred crust, and the
So
sauce
I'm
was
now that I have
so
a backyard,
good.
I'm 100% getting.
One of those unis or
oni-
whatever.
Oh, 100%.
They look really cool.
The way that our backyard is, so my whole building, we have the bottom floor.
Oh,
so
you
we
got
have
the
backyard, but
place.
Everyone above.
You got the
we
place.
did, yeah, Mallory's there right now. I'll clean
Very
it up.
dope,
I'm gonna
dude.
be moving all week.
That's awesome.
We have to double dip for February rent, but it is what it is. Like,
Dude, whatever,
I have
man.
too much work.
Did
I
you get the
can't-
place?
We can't. We got it. Yeah. We're
That's
moving
awesome.
in right now, as we speak. Funny enough. Well, Mallory is. I'm just sitting here in a hotel room like a fucking dork talking to you guys. So like we have a backyard, and then every apartment above us has like a little terrace, like right above it. So there is like, kind of like an overlap. So there's like what would you like? It's like covered. There's like a covered area in the backyard, which is nice. So I'm gonna put that pizza grill right under there, and it'll be perfect.
Good. Well, in my vacation to New York City later this year, I will be expecting Chef
Pizza?
Ashy Pastramio's or
Yes.
OG pizzas.
Ashy Pastrami.
OG pizzas. I like that one.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
didn't realize we're changing the name.
OG pizzas are good.
I just changed the name to. I can switch it to whatever. It's just Diamond Hands with Chewburger. That's what I was changing it to.
Diamond Hands with Chewburger. Oh my god.
Don't you worry. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we did like 90 minutes with.
I like
Hebrew and
I
one
like
of
the
his buddies
stock.
on that. The stock.
Yeah, you're gonna when I start getting a little bit more money to start playing the stock market, you're gonna help me expand my portfolio because I am
Dude.
garbaggio at investing. I don't want. I'm not one of these people that wants to like get rich quick. I want to like invest my money in good stocks and just let them chill. Like, but I don't want to
Dude,
pick
this job I
stocks
just
that are
had
bad.
was, so funny. Every single crew member was just like, when they weren't working, it was like, oh my god, we're up. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, get back to work. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, bro. Game stocks. It's great.
It was very funny.
What a ride, man. I've never given a shit about like constantly refreshing a stock on a phone in my life until this week. It was great. I'm not even in because I can't invest.
I'm very excited for the Robinhood class action lawsuit I'll be able to join for having them
likewise.
cancel my stock.
Yeah, they
you're
canceled. They
one of
canceled
those?
me too. Yeah, they canceled.
Now,
me
did
too.
your
they
trade
canceled-
get
they
canceled, or
canceled
were you one of the
3.
guys that, like, on the percentage options, they actually like sold it on your behalf? Because I've seen that
No,
shit, which is pretty nuts.
So I put in a nice order for Nokia, BlackBerry, and AMC, however long ago, and I woke up the next morning to, hey, we canceled your stock. Sorry about this inconvenience. Blah blah blah. Like I am looking forward to that class action lawsuit.
It gonna be good. Yeah, I had something similar. I had a big sell order in there, and it got canceled. So overnight. So, but it was like $3,500 for a stock. But you never know. Stuff. It's just funny how like this is just very stereotypical of like what Bitcoin was doing like before. Granted, it's not even close to what it was, but like people are like, "Oh my God, you're holding!" Like, dude, I've been investing in Bitcoin for 7 years, so it's just like crazy up and downs. Like, don't
You've
affect
been doing
me.
it for longer than that, haven't you? I mean, you were
Yeah.
mining when we would live together. Oh, that was, I guess, it was 8 years ago.
Yeah, well, yeah, 8 years ago. 2012 is when I started.
Yeah.
Dom, I think it is you. Can you just turn your volume down your
Yeah,
headphones
I'm-
down a little bit?
So I'm
We'll
gonna
get
sit
started
on
in just a
my
second.
to hear you guys.
I'm gonna sit on my 34 Dogecoins until they're $32,000 like Bitcoins, and then I'm buying a G6.
There you go.
There you go.
Even though I don't think the math adds up there, it's just
I mean,
No.
it's up to what, 5 cents now, 6 cents a
I don't
coin.
even know, man.
Whatever.
I just thought it was
The world's
funny because
crazy.
I as soon as I saw people saying the Dogecoin was going crazy, I'm like, wait a second, I could have sworn that I used to like collect those on some kind of little funnel thing, and yeah, I had the 32 of them in my coin pot, and I'm like, hey, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, I found an old wallet. It's got quite a lot, so I'm stoked.
Isn't there a guy over there in the US that's like locked out of a $280 million
Oh,
account
dude.
or some shit?
That poor man. I just recently read a story about some dude who like had, I guess, something like on a flash drive that had his either long information or he had the physical Bitcoin, whatever it was. But like years ago he threw it away or something. I don't know. But he ended up finding it. And it was like 1.2 mil of Bitcoin.
One of these guys,
I'd love to find that.
Ledger
There's
Nano.
Charlie's home right
Oh
there.
yeah.
This is literally like this exactly this will pay for my house one day.
That's it.
That's fine.
Just everything's in there.
Everything's in here. Yep, a little Ledger Nano, and it has like a little key to it. I have 2 of them, so I have backups. But yeah, in case that ever gets
when it
lost.
comes to crypto. It's like, what? It lives in the stick? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Wow.
All right, you guys ready to get going?
Let's do a thing.
Let's do a thing. We'll do a thing. Okay.
Let's do a thing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Overachievers Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Vash, joined as always by Ashy Pastramio and Chef Crondo was his name-o. Joining us this week, we're doing a little bit of what do we call it, Chew? I forget what it was. We call it like an exchange program.
Yeah, cultural exchange program.
Cultural exchange.
Little culture exchange program. Joining us this week is Chewburger84 from the A&R podcast, AlterNerd Reality. How's it going, bud? Thanks for coming on and being a part of our fun little pod.
My pleasure, man. I always have a great time with you guys. I always leave it way too long between drinks. So, yeah, keen to be back.
Yeah. Anyway, you can find us on Instagram at og.podcast. Our Twitter is overachieversp. Our website is ogpodcast.fm, where you get this episode and every episode where we talk about video games, unfortunately Marvel Strike Force, and some other things about what's going on in the world today with diamond hands. No paper hands here. Just saying. That's great. Chew, where can people find you and the A&R podcast and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so you can check us out on alternerdreality.com, on youtube.com/alternerdreality, and we're on every podcasting platform. So, yeah, we got socials for all the guys, but we very rarely post outside of our OnlyFans, really. So,
That's great. How's that going out for you? Working out for you, though, OnlyFans.
look, we're thinking about shifting the market to getting people to pay us to put stuff back on. We think that's probably got a better chance of making some coin over there. But at this stage, it's rough going, man. Yeah.
Great. It's the reverse. It's the reverse OnlyFans. I love it. So, that's
Yeah, we're all signed up for like a twerking course at the moment, so like hopefully that'll bring in some clientele. I don't know, man.
yeah.
You gotta do a booty pop it on a handstand, man. That's where you really lock it in.
Man, I feel like that's vertebrae waiting to
demonstrate?
snap at this
Do
particular
you want me to
situation.
demonstrate? Back in my heyday, I used to be able to do some stuff like that, but you know, I'm
Right,
an old
right,
man
right,
now.
right.
Turned 36 yesterday.
Oh snap!
Oh,
I'm
yesterday? Your
37
birthday was
like in
yesterday?
2 weeks.
I feel like I am
Happy
now
birthday.
double.
Yeah,
Like, it was.
happy
I actually got in my head last night. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, man, I was a senior in high school, about to graduate, and just be on top of the world, and then life happens, and
And then yeah, exactly.
you decide to be a chef,
Is your birthday?
huh?
Is your birthday not on Facebook? Because Facebook tells me these things, and it didn't tell me.
No,
this
it
yesterday.
is.
I
You know
think
what?
it's
I got to be honest with you, and this is something that's interesting me about big tech in general. I used to get, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm cool or anything like that, but dude, I used to get like 200 plus people to be like happy birthday to me. I had 28 people say it to me yesterday, and I know that it's because it only shows it to segmented people, and I really feel like even though and I'm not somebody that posts, I don't post anything political on Facebook because I find that when you start posting political things, it starts to like put you in different sectors of their program or their what algorithm or whatever. So I avoid that, and I think it's just interesting that they've really dumbed down the reach of your audience and who really sees your stuff on a daily basis compared to back in the day when you'd see everything.
I just
Huh?
didn't see it. I'm sorry. Happy birthday.
Well, no, you're not the only one. Like
I was flying yesterday.
but, yeah.
Yeah, I
Anyways.
don't like go on Facebook ever anymore these days.
I'm a big
so.
Facebook boy.
You're a big Facebook boy?
Well, I'm a big social media boy.
Yeah, you got to start doing more for the podcast. That's what you're gonna do since you're not on the.
You can get with
other
you can get with A&R and do a collaboration on twerking for their OnlyFans.
There we go.
Absolutely, dude. Let's
I
make it
mean,
happen. Are you guys
do
doing the whole
that.
TikTok thing? I've been debating it, but I kind of like my personal data security, so no.
As much as I like
Dom was
social
thinking
media,
about it, but
as much as I do, as much as social media, I can't do TikTok. It's not my jam.
yo, hey, I
we
want to
technically have a TikTok for the podcast. Technically.
We do.
Boom.
Yeah, I signed up for it like way back when TikTok was like just first announced, and we just never did anything with it.
Oh, wow.
So we have
Okay.
we have the account. So
I know we're here to talk
Interesting.
video games, but can I just
Oh,
for
God,
one
here we go.
second ask Ashy how he feels about McGregor's fight the other night that happened? Like I think it was last weekend.
Let's do that.
I've been out of the MMA game for a long time.
He
So
got his
does
butt
McGregor.
whooped. I mean, you can't mistake
Yeah.
that. I mean, he got his butt kicked, man. And he looked so just.
Someone said
I-
something very interesting. We don't have to take too long on this, but I thought it was very interesting.
No.
McGregor used to be like dirt poor, like dirt poor.
Sure.
Couldn't afford his boxing gloves and shit. And like his wife would like just support him in every way possible. Like they just did whatever they could, and then he made it huge. Arguably one of the biggest in name fighters that's probably ever been a part of mixed martial arts. And someone was like, "Hey, like at some point you could chill." And what, McGregor's just chill. He's just chilling.
Yeah.
That dude had a very interesting fight style. I didn't like him too much as like his personality, but his fight style was really fun. And if this is where he starts to go downhill, whatever, he did everything he had to do. He could chill now. No, I didn't watch it though. I saw clips. But
I loved like his antics in his heyday, and it was just kind of like it kind of made me sad because I realized I'm like,
he
dude,
was the
that's
heel of mixed martial arts. He was
Yeah.
he was he was like the bad guy macho man or something. It was
I
just-
loved
you
it,
saw
dude. It
his
was so
secret face
he was so
everywhere.
entertaining, like
Very entertaining.
very
Very entertaining.
and I think even the people he was fighting to a certain degree knew that it was for content.
Well,
I
mean, that's the thing. They all know. Lyoto Machida, who's arguably one of my favorite fighters of all time, Dana White had to pull him to the side and go, "Hey, man, you can't have like one answer interview, like questions in your interviews. You gotta like talk shit. You gotta do stuff."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, not."
Who is it that we had on the podcast way back when, like a year and a half ago?
We had Edwin Najmi. He doesn't do MMA. He is a black belt under
jiu-jitsu, right?
Humulo Bahal out in California. A very good competition jiu-jitsu guy who also streams and plays video game stuff.
Reach out to him again, see what's up, see if he wants to come back.
Yeah, he's a super down dude. He's super. It was funny because I've been following him for a long time. His jujitsu is amazing, and I just like straight up DM'd him, like slid into his DMs, like, "Yo, would you come on the podcast, my guy? Like, I do jujitsu, you do jujitsu, we both play video games." And yeah, I actually sent him my old Elgato HD60S when he started streaming. I was like, "Yo, here you go. Like, good luck. I'm excited to see what you do."
Rad. It's just funny
Nice
how
guy,
like,
Ashy.
all of us come together over video games. Speaking of video games, we can't go this pod or another month or so without talking about what's going on in the stock market world with GameStop.
Oh my
What do
God.
you? I know we won't spend too much time.
It's
on it.
relevant though.
It's very relevant. Chew, I knew I saw this morning. I got a notification that you guys had just released an episode with that. You want to give us a quick summary, and we'll put a link to that down below, so you guys. If you want to take a listen to the A&R podcast where they go into detail about what's going on. But if you want to give us a summary between your guys' take on what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, we're very much like Team GameStop for sure. Like seeing the big corporate cogs turn and watching just how blatant the combination of them and the mainstream media are really like teaming up to do everything they can to discredit these
Oh, it's
guys,
so funny.
to make them sound like degenerate savages, which to be honest, like, of course
are.
they are.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, you know, they upplay that to I guess throw off the scent how intelligent these people really are. Like they read this, they knew how to play it, they needed the support, they got it. What they've been able to do in 2 weeks has really blown my mind. So I give myself like a crash course. I've known nothing about stocks before this week, and I feel like that's most of my waking hours have been spent either reading up on these terms, watching the actual pricing, watching the Reddits, watching mainstream media in ways that I haven't since probably, election cycle US, and just being disgusted at everything I've seen, and watching billionaires literally cry on television. I didn't realize was something that I could jerk off to, but God, I have been furiously.
It's the
Like,
content we've
honestly,
needed.
mwah, it's
we've
so
needed.
good.
I
Yeah.
think the favorite meme I've seen so far is like a few text chains, and it's like the ruling class. Why doesn't poor people just invest their money? And then it's like, wait, no, stop.
Yeah. The memes have been, like, I know that's where this started, but the memes have been, like, I thought we were going to peak so early this year on memes when I saw the Bernie Sanders stuff. And then, like, a week later, just seeing all the memes from this, it's next level,
We're in it
dude.
to
I
win it,
have
baby.
I have mad
2020 is-
respect for what's
yeah.
happening.
Oh, 100%. I think, I personally, I hate that we're held hostage. I mean, here's my fucking soapbox. Here we go. I hate that we're held hostage by Wall Street in every manner as normal human beings. Like, there's no reason that if Wall Street is upset, our economy crumbles, but that's just how it is. Really annoying in America. Someone was saying like, you shouldn't be rooting for. Like, yeah, it's really cool that I have a 401k, but guess what? Most fucking like everyday Americans don't, and that doesn't matter to them. They're like fucked either way when a hedge fund decides to tank the economy or tank a company or whatever, any of these things.
Yeah.
So I even though like I missed my opportunity. I could have bought in earlier and I didn't, like a ding dong, because I was like, this, who knows how this will go, But that's how things always go. Either way, though, I am just sitting here just basking in the glory of like Melvin specifically, that fucking shithead like company. Just what are they down like $3 billion so
Good.
far?
Fuck
and they
'em.
refuse.
Closer to 11.
Yeah, and they refuse to like back out of the short. And honestly, as long as they do that, the better it'll be. Like, oh great, have your pride and your fucking hard head. You're just gonna keep losing more money because you're stupid. Because people are holding. People are still holding. You know what I mean? I love it. I will say though, I don't like GameStop as a company personally. I think that I guess I'm happy that they're not going to go bankrupt. At the same time, like, they don't like always pay their employees the best. They had shitty practices, protocols, and rhetoric when COVID first happened. But at the same time, I don't like billionaire hedge funds more than that. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Someone Neo Venom, they treat their employees like they do treat their employees like shit. So like as much as all that sucks, they're still the little guy in comparison to like Melvin and the other hedge funds. So in this instance, I will support all that because fuck those hedge funds.
Yeah,
we
GameStop taught
talked
me
about
how
that
to buy
exactly.
low and sell high.
Yeah, exactly. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, like the way that GameStop treated their employees and even their customers as well. But we also talked about like there's this sort of narrative by the Wall Street Bets guys that I don't necessarily agree with, which is like they've saved the jobs of like 10,000 employees. When the reason that GameStop was slightly rising before this anyway is because they just announced they were about to pivot to digital platforms, which means they're still going to fire them. They're just going to, do as much as they can to capitalize off that stock price. So, I was going back and forth in my head of, am I going to feel bad for GameStop at the end of this? And the answer is no, because we all know everyone's going to bail out the second it's all over, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Dude, I bet you will see a fucking bailout for Melvin after all this. We'll see a bailout for shitty fucking hedge funds before the American people get one. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
The only thing that really, and I don't really have feelings on the stock itself because I didn't get involved, but I'm more sad to see that they were about to shift to everything being digital, because once they do, I think the idea of being able to go to a video game store will completely be gone, right? And I'm one of those people that I'm old school. I still buy everything a hard copy. I just like to collect the hard copy, even though I don't need to. Like, it's actually kind of just taking up space. There's really no need since everything's is moving to digital. But I'm kind of happy that they got saved, because now I can still do the thing that I like to do. But I saw somebody talking about that the other day. I think it was actually Remen was talking about how he doesn't buy anything hard copy anymore. And I don't know, it's kind of an odd thought to me that nobody buys, or not a lot of people buy the actual copies of games anymore, and that they just buy a license for a file to download off of some cloud server somewhere. And for me, that's just like way. I don't like to buy things, spend that much money if it's not tangible. And I don't know, it's just like an interesting thought to me, and I'm kind of glad that they got saved.
If you want to still do that, try to find your mom and pop game shops. They still exist. They're far and few between. You know what I mean?
Those are my favorites.
What's that?
I said those are always my favorites. They actually don't have any of those like anywhere close to me in South Florida, but I know what you're talking about, and usually those are really fun.
They sometimes deliver too, dude. You know what I mean? Honestly, like in the past year, even with everything that's going on, I've tried to limit my buying from Amazon. I've tried to limit my buying from any of these fucking places because they don't care about us, Yeah. I would rather go into a store and there's shitty video game stores in like my neighborhood, and I'd rather go into there than go order off Amazon or any of that shit. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this question: how tight do you think the sphincters were at GameStop in that year before PS5 and new Xbox got announced? Because there was a very good chance they were going to release those without disc drives, right?
Yeah.
If they had done that, those stores would be dead today.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I mean, they've had to shift in. I mean, now they sell so many different things, man. I mean, when I worked at GameStop back in like
You're selling computer parts now.
2005,
They?
they will buy and sell like phones, tablets. They sell toys, like a lot of toys actually. Like I would almost say that they sell more toys than video games at the actual stores. But I don't know, just one of those things I like to go and just see all the games, and I don't know, it's little kid shit that I like to do as an adult. But
you just go there and be like, that's too expensive. That's too expensive. It's like, why am I going to spend $40 on a Funko Pop when they're like $8? Like, what's
right?
You're not wrong. You're really not wrong, man. And that's I mean, they're scummy. So it's kind of.
I'm just happy that AMC has been riding the wave too, and that the theater companies actually, out of all of this, everything that's going on with the GameStop stock and everything, is that AMC is probably going to come out on top of this as well, because they were in a lot of trouble.
But they just announced something literally right before this too. AMC something happened to them right before. Is there a name for this? Are we having a name for the GameStop stuff? Has someone called it? Is there any kind of name for it yet?
Like
I haven't seen
Reddit MarketGate. I don't know, whatever we're gonna call it.
Reddit
The
Gate.
Stonkalypse.
The Stonkalypse.
The Stonkalypse.
I'm coining that shit right now.
The Stonkalypse. That is actually that's good. The Stonkalypse.
But yeah, I haven't seen anything in terms of like a terminology or anything like that, or with AMC. But it's all it could all just be weird, and there's just stuff going on with it. But either way, I'm fully on board with the whole movement. I have like 11 shares right now in GameStop, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, I don't. As always with anything financial, there's no financial advice, but I just really like the stock. Just saying, that's great.
Yeah.
But also with that, in regards to anything, do not bet things. Going forward with what you. It's like don't put anything into this where you can't afford to lose. As with anything, it is straight up gambling. So, and we're all used to that with Marvel Strike Force.
The old Marvel shit.
Only half
Never heard of it.
Only half of
Never
us
heard of
here
it.
are still playing it. So,
Wait, Chef, you got back in?
You got back.
Kind
in.
of.
I deleted the app from my phone. I can't even play it if I wanted to.
Good. I need you.
I dabble.
I need you to. We'll talk off. The
Yeah.
I dabble in the Strike Force. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I started playing. I strike the force. I started playing a couple different like random mobile games, and it became funny to me that every different company has a different version of all these different games.
Oh, yeah,
like
100%.
Yeah.
it has evolved to the point where every company has been like, okay, this is working for War of Ages, or this was working for Clash of Clans, so let's take Clash of Clans, War of Ages, put that shit together and call it Lords Mobile or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it's funny to me how they have the most like not creepy, that's not the word I'm looking for, but the packs they offer, right? Like they're so like there's nothing worth it. Like they throw so much shit at you for like 99 cents. You're like, how are they making money off of this, man? Like, are people just desperate for? I guess, yeah. I don't know. It's just funny to me how warped the whole economy is, and how gacha games have really just, I don't know, man, eclipsed normal gaming in terms of monetary income.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
I mean, there's going to be a point in which we're going to be moving to more and more mobile gaming as a whole, just because phones are getting exponentially better than consoles. I wouldn't necessarily say PC games, but even still, like there's graphics on games these days look incredible. Like I don't know if you play Asphalt 8. I still dabble in that game, just a racing game that's like whatever. But like that shit looks insane. It looks like way better than like Gran Turismo on like PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 at this point. It's just wild how good these games are getting, and optimization with the new processors, and also taking an advantage of like machine learning and AI and all that stuff. It's just going to get absolutely insane going forward. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next 5 years or so where we'll just be talking about like what AAA games we're playing on our phones.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
Yeah.
it's
I mean, it's just
probably
install
gonna go that way.
base too. It's install base. Like, I mean, we see PlayStation's going to struggle a little bit this year just because of the ability to get consoles in market. Same with Xbox. But the amount of phones that are on planet Earth that could game, like they don't have to be the latest and greatest to play things like Marvel Strike Force. Literally, if you're a developer, you go, what's my biggest possible reach? If I just release something that had minimal dev time. And value for money for these guys, it's all about mobile phone games, and that's until we get internet fast enough that it moves to things like Stadia or Ubisoft Plus or the Nvidia versions, all these new direct streaming to TV type things, which will, that'll be the future once internet gets to that point. Once Elon, beams it directly into our mine holes from space. When that happens, we're good to go. But until then, like mobile phones. I mean, look at Blizzard. Blizzard, if you look at everything they've been doing over the last 3 or 4 years, it's all aimed at mobile. They've barely made any movements at all on Diablo 4, barely made any movements or upgrades to WoW. StarCraft's dead, Heroes of the Storm's dead. They're just not investing in PC technologies
Here's
anymore.
the Storm. Hold up.
You're talking about Dom's favorite game there, okay?
One of my
I
favorite
love
games.
that game,
is
always
still
did,
kicking,
but their
dog.
support for it tell me that they're actually doing what they used to. No way, bro.
I mean, I would argue. Now, hear me out.
Okay.
that
Here we go.
They're actually doing a little more
Okay.
in terms. They're not doing any esports stuff, but we're still getting
Yeah.
new characters, still getting new maps. They're changing stuff up. I think that the game is definitely dead, unfortunately, but they're still doing stuff. Like for instance, StarCraft 2, actual support for the game is stopping. I think in 2021 or 2022. Like actual support. Like they're not doing new stuff. So I don't know. I think, but but okay, that's beside the point. You're absolutely right. 100%. They are focused, especially like they're seeing the success of like the card game based. Oh
Yeah.
my god, you know what the fuck I'm saying? Jesus,
Words are
why am
tough
I'm
today.
like bugging out over here?
This man's been stuck in a hotel room for a day and a half. Leave him alone.
Because I've just well, I mean, it's actually been longer than that because I've been in a hotel room in North Carolina before this, and then here I am back in New York in a hotel room.
Did you get your laptop at least boot camped? Or
Yes,
no?
that's currently what I'm doing right now. Yeah, it works. I've been playing Old Republic. I'm almost done.
Nice.
When
we'll
you say
get-
almost done, as in 75 or as in over 300?
No, I'm almost done Eternal Throne, and then I'll be
Okay.
caring about actual gearing. Was it just I was gonna? Oh yeah, so I was listening to this podcast the other day. I think who was it? The Business of Esports. This was like a little bit ago. This specific episode. It's two dudes that do business esports. They have a pretty good podcast. The one dude is pro mobile esports, and the other one isn't. And I think this is a funny thing to care so much about that topic, but at the same time, uh, even though like I'll probably never do like well, I won't say never. Who knows what the future holds? But like, I don't have an investment in mobile gaming because I have a nice computer, right? But I do also recognize that for a lot of people that don't have a nice computer, doing PUBG or Call of Duty online or mobile or any of these things is a way to play these games without having a crazy computer, right? Like everyone has a phone. Everyone has a phone. So like, yeah, I think that's very interesting. Like this one dude was like, no, it's not an esport. You can't do Call of Duty. That's not an esport. It's like, well, shut up. All right, relax, man. All right.
Playing
But
Call of Duty Mobile is tough, man. Like last year when
yeah,
that came out, I played Call of Duty Mobile like consistently, like all day. Like it was fantastic. Like when I was working on FBI, I would just be like hang out, and if I wasn't working, I'd do my hit some MSF or whatever, and then be like, then I would just be stuck playing the battle royale of Call of Duty Mobile because like it's one of those things where if you can get the controls down, like the controls in itself are tough, they're janky, whatever. But like if you can master the controls and kind of get used to it, man, you can destroy. Especially if you have any sort of semblance of first-person shooter, it's way fun. And I actually I re-downloaded Call of Duty Mobile this week because I was just looking for something to play, and I was like,
yeah,
it's actually still fun. It's competitive. Like I placed it in top 10 or whatever, but still like it's that game looks really fantastic even on on mobile. I mean, I have an iPhone 12, and it's I don't know, it's wild, man. Like it can only get better, and I'm curious to see if developers are going to start leaning into machine learning to start making one sort of platform, one game, code or whatever that learns what phone you have and tailors it to that, so that way they can have like these crazy graphics for like the iPhone 20 or whatever it is down the road, but still like you can still play on an iPhone 12, and it just it scales everything back based off of whatever device you're using, so that we can get these crazy graphics and performances and everything like that.
Well,
So it's
Nvidia's
wild.
already been doing that with their camera processing stuff in the last couple of months, right?
Yeah.
Trying to basically use AI to cut down on the processing and bit rates on things like Zoom in the this remote learning environment. But this whole
Nvidia.
esports on mobile phone thing, I find so hilarious. Like I can't wait until you've got commentators saying, Jeffrey's been ruled out of this game because he's got a bad case of Texter's neck. It's like the equivalent of blowing out your knee in the NFL. Do you know what I mean? Like there's going to be the most ridiculous things on paper to hear. He would have been here, but he didn't get an A in his exam, so he's banned from playing his mobile phone this week. It's a shame to see him out. He's a good kid.
Oh my God.
Oh, Timmy dropped his phone. He fumbled it.
Yeah, at
Right,
the
yeah.
urinal. Oh no.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's wild. Like a friend of mine did a whole documentary series based on like PUBG Mobile in India, and it's amazing. It's
It's
just wild.
massive there. Man,
Yeah.
two of the dudes that work for one of our teams, we can't get them to do anything after hours because they're just on there and they don't check their email for like 4 hours at a time, dude.
Really.
There's
For
just
which game?
PUBG in it.
PUBG.
That was PUBG Mobile, yeah. Huge
Yeah,
in India.
That's funny.
it's huge, yeah, because it's super competitive, and like you can't like the crazy thing, and I like that they do this, is they can detect whether or not you're playing on an emulator or not. And when so if you're playing like on BlueStacks or Nox or Mimu or whatever, like it'll put you up against people who are also playing on emulators, so you're not at a disadvantage. So like if you want to be competitive, people are actually playing on their phones, which is wild.
Sure.
So
Yeah, yeah.
you
It's
see,
interesting. I think it's it's the future. I don't know why
Yeah.
why get upset about the future? It's gonna happen.
Speaking of mobile games, I saw, Charlie, that you said you had tried out Diablo Immortal, and I'm curious what your thought are the alpha
Oh, did you
version
play
of
it?
it.
No, I did not
Oh,
play it. I just saw that the alpha was just out and just ended, I want to
yeah.
say. I saw a bunch of people playing it on stream. It looks pretty good, and I know, Chew, you have somebody
Yeah.
on your podcast who's been playing it, right?
Yeah, Hooch got into the calling in a few favors because he works in the industry. He works over at WB, so he's got some big projects out
Cool.
this year. He called in some friends, and yeah, he was in the and he went into it super skeptical, as we all would with this
Right.
transition to being on a phone. You expect it to be super predatory, which it looks like. The way that looks like it's going to get monetized is that you might get gear faster. Like, let's say in Diablo 3, when you're running rifts at the moment, you can get like bonus modifiers to get more loot and things like that. So it looks like you're going to be able to put on modifiers that you can pay for or grind out over time to accumulate loot faster. It looks like that's where most of the money's going to be at this stage. It looks
Yeah,
like they're going to
that's what
take
it
a
looked
light
like.
touch with the monetization. So that's good that it's starting
It's
there.
not terrible.
But
Yeah.
it's not bad. I mean, if you can still get the same things, it just takes longer. I'm fine with that because it's not like there's a competitive PvP that we know about yet, but there is some things in there. But he said he was genuinely blown away by how good that Diablo experience was on the phone.
Nice.
The one thing that he said I wasn't super stoked about, but I can completely understand it, is that it has an auto targeting. So it's basically going to go, rather than being directional based and you have a lot of control over like Diablo 3 on PC, it's going to automatically target something near you. So you won't miss, but you won't necessarily hit the target that you want all the time with abilities either. But he said you forget about it pretty quickly. He said it was smooth. It looks like it's in great shape. And he went from being super skeptical to crazily excited. So I trust his
Yeah.
opinion a lot. I think if he thinks it's good, it's going to be good. So I'm actually pumped now.
Nice.
I am too. A lot of the streamers that I trust that play Diablo 3 as like their livelihoods liked it, and I do trust them on that. You know what I mean? Like Riker is not afraid to say he doesn't like a game, and he is like, yeah. I don't know if you guys ever follow him. He's a very funny Canadian dude who is a big Diablo guy. He just has like the chillest. Yeah, hello. Yeah, yeah. He just like is that. That's the whole thing. I trust it. You know what I mean? I'm definitely. I'm excited for it. I mean, shit. I'll play the hell out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. Do they have a time frame yet, or are they still taking all the feedback from alpha?
Oh.
I'm assuming probably not this year would be my guess. But
I reckon we'll see a regional beta this year. I reckon if you haven't got a Philippines iPhones account, it might be a good time to move there on a VPN.
Yeah.
that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited about that. Since Drink Noob is in the chat with us right now, now is a good time to talk about our very first sponsor that we have that's like full on the podcast. So while we have a quick second, Chew, if you don't mind us just doing a
Absolutely,
shout-out.
man. I'm jealous. Go for it.
So I wrote up a little thing. So for those who are not part of our Discord, you can get our Discord link below where we have our special promo code where you can get 15% off for any order of Drink Noob or noobenergy.com. But here's a little copy that I wrote up, so we'll see what happens with that. So you can guys tell me if I'm off or whatnot. But Noob Energy is a great low-calorie, 10 calories, energy drink formulated to create a synergistic effect to enhance your gaming, studying, or working experience. Noob Energy provides a cognitive advantage in any scenario. This product is a perfect combo of brain-boosting nootropics, which is great because I actually take nootropics on the daily, so this is awesome. I'm actually looking forward to using this. And backflip-inducing energy, all packed into a 12-ounce can. It's got a bunch of good shit that I can't pronounce, but I promise you it's all good brain-boosting natural shit. It's sugar-free, gluten-free. Some of it's vegan-friendly. Is it all vegan-friendly or just some? I don't
think
remember.
one of them.
Just
is
one of
vegan.
them? Okay.
I
So
think
I'm
so.
actually stoked about that because I don't do full-time vegan, but I try while I'm working on set, I try to be vegan as much as possible just because I don't trust what's coming through catering. But and all of it's made in the United States. So try Noob Energy today at noob.ogpodcast.fm or by using promo code OG15 at noobenergy.com. Again, that's noob.ogpodcast.fm or using promo code OG15 at noobenergy.com.
You're killing it.
Thank you.
So here's you
Noob
got
Energy.
to
I'm sold. I'm sold.
you got to
I'm
record
buying
that, and that's going to be our commercial.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm buying it just now based
This
off of your
episode is
strong
sponsored
endorsement.
I mean, that's the idea, right? Is try to incorporate it into the podcast while we have that, and we have like the nice thing is since I do all
Fun.
chapters,
Killed
like
it.
we can provide that to other people. So there we go.
I'm blown away. The way that you summed it up, just I have to buy it now. That was such a strong endorsement.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
they're awesome people. Like I've been talking to one of the owners, Patrick, on Discord quite a lot. And he's such a good person. He used to work in the industry and Dom, you know him pretty well, right? Oh, Dom's
Dom froze. Can I ask you a
Dom froze
question?
you.
What a
We'll-
great
we'll-
pose to be stuck in for that first time, though. You could not have done that deliberately if you tried. That is perfection.
yeah,
So
That's the pastrami O face is what that is.
that is quite possibly just like just loving
with
life right now.
with Noob Energy Drink, will it help me to learn how to dodge roll away from zombies in
Hold on 1
RE3
second.
or okay?
It's a good time for him to pop back because now I know exactly where the thing is.
The ad is. Yeah, good
Yeah,
one.
maybe he did that on purpose.
Yes,
Zach,
the
I'm gonna
ingredients
freeze
are online,
myself.
Higgy
He-
or
he's-
Hellfire. Yes, if you do exclamation noob in the chat, it'll get you to that. So we'll wait for Don to come back in. But
Yeah.
that's the one thing I like about. I'm actually stoked about SquadCast is even if there's an issue, at least it finishes. It'll save the recording. That's the word I was looking for. I can't
That's
speak
good.
normally, but if I read it, if I read something I've actually written, and I'm fine.
It's okay.
Be fine.
Excellent. That's
I
good,
spent
man.
the entire day killing zombies yesterday, so I'm talking is difficult for me
You've
too.
been murdering coronavirus people? What?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it was really
Potentially,
funny
yeah.
because I watched the RE3 trailer while I was just sitting there, smoking up, and it was funny how it started. This global pandemic has swept the country
Hi.
faster than any other virus, and I was just
Right.
I was like laughing to myself at the fact that it's
Welcome back, Tom.
but
You're still
I gotta
frozen.
tell
Oh
you,
my
Netflix
god.
for the first time.
Okay, not bad. Not bad. You're not plugged
Am I
in.
here? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
No, I don't have that ability.
You don't have that ability? Oh. All internet, all hotel Wi-Fi. It'd be fine.
Oh,
That's
God. I'm surprised you lasted this long on hotel Wi-Fi.
Surprisingly, that's the first time it's happened.
yeah. And it's funny. I'm surprised. Actually, I haven't been disconnected yet because I still do not have fiber internet here at my house. So, fine.
I'm getting Verizon Fios. I can't wait.
I'm very stoked to get that. But I had an install scheduled this past week, and of course the guy came out. I spent a boatload of money running a conduit from the pole all the way to my house. Had to dig up my
You
yard
did it?
in order. I had to do it. Yeah. And the guy comes out to install it, and he's like, yeah, the people didn't run it to the actual pole, so you're gonna have to wait. I'm like, oh my god, like this is like the worst. Like Optimum's the worst. Like they didn't even run the pole. They didn't
Oh.
run the fiber to the pole itself, so I can't do anything. So.
So yes, I've known Patrick for a long time. We went to
Yeah.
college together. We worked a few times actually since then. Super good dude. Hilariously random. He hit me up about this, and I was like, "Done. This is amazing. I love it already." Actually, what was I gonna say? Oh, I'm all fucked up now because of the disconnect. Yes, Patrick's great. Drink Noob Energy. Thank you, Charlie, for saying all that great shit. Continue on.
video games,
Vidya,
Resident Evil.
Video games. So let's
Resident
talk
Evil.
about Resident Evil. Do you want to talk? Okay, so let's get into what we've been playing. So, which I'm actually kind of very excited for because I've actually dived into a lot of stuff in the past month since our last episode. So if you haven't checked out our last OG podcast episode where we had the Game of the Year episode with Shanksy, actually Chew was supposed to come be a part of that, but then just work got really busy for us all. So we're happy to have you on this episode now, Chew. But you should definitely check out the Game of the Year episode where we talk about games that are our favorite games from 2018 in that episode. So,
I got the joke. I got the
over-
joke.
over his
I
head.
no, I got the joke. I just
got it.
Ashley just chose to ignore
I don't want
it.
to talk
just-
about it.
wanna
Chew, the reason that we say that is because Ashley's favorite game was or one of his favorite game was Among Us, and it's from
Right.
2018. So
We
had to
went through a
give
lot of
him
the
shit about
gaming
that.
list, and I said it doesn't
Here's the
qualify
thing.
because it was in
Fuck that.
2018. Just because it got ported to a mobile phone doesn't mean jack. Half-Life Alex
Anyway.
was mine, and it well deservedly, in my opinion.
yeah, forget what was what I? Oh yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was mine for the game.
mine was The Last of Us 2 because I'm a
Half-Life Alex. I
fanboy.
think was like my number 3. It's so good. I still need to finish it, but I
Mine
have
was Phasmophobia, which apparently also is not a 2020 game.
That's okay. You get one. It's fine, or two, technically two, but it's fine. Don't worry about
I
it.
had like 4
Anyway,
on the fucking list.
so let's talk about what we're playing now. Chew, since you're our guest, please let us know what have you been playing in the past month or so.
Well, the past month. All right, we're gonna be here for a while. If it's the past month.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what we're here for.
This week, I've cut it back down to 2 games, which has been good. Well, 3 really. So I've backed off a little bit in the Old Republic because I'm nearly max gear. I'm like 304 now or something. So just waiting on you guys so we
Wait,
can
you
get
went
some
to
group
Republic?
content. What's that?
Wait, did you say you went over to the Republic?
No, I just said the Old Republic, as in the game.
Oh, you said okay,
yeah, so
good.
Star Wars:
Okay,
The Old
great.
Republic.
So you
Yeah, my
better
bad.
not
I
leave
probably
us when
did
we
say
put it
that.
outside. Okay, good.
Well, that's actually, I think I've said this on this pod before. Chewburger84, the character, was spawned from this game. I still have a fat gunslinger called Chewburger84. He was the first one that ever had that name. Before that, I used to have really dumb online names. Well, more dumb than Chewburger. But yeah, so I've been enjoying that. The storyline of Knights of the Eternal Throne is awesome. I've been playing another zombie game as well, not Resident Evil Crondo, but I've been playing Days Gone, the
yeah.
PS5 upspec version. So that's
Oh,
been
it is?
really nice, actually. Yeah, they've done a little bit of tuning to it, and because it's free with the PS Plus monthly stuff, it's like, why not? I needed a bit of a palate cleanser. Mobile-wise, the only
PS5,
thing I'm
damn it.
playing there at the moment is Disney Mirrorverse. I'm in the beta for that again.
How is it?
Significantly better now. I'm committed to giving this game a much better shot because the developers did something that developers don't normally do. They listened to us in the first beta feedback and they completely changed the game. Like we basically told them the gameplay was boring. You're not interacting as much. It's really flat, and they went away and they made it more dynamic, gave you more control of the characters. The way they've rendered the Disney characters, it's a beautiful mobile game. It's a really pretty game, and what they're doing with Disney characters, like you look from that to Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and that looks like it's been drawn by a toddler comparatively. Like it's a stunning game. But yeah, at the moment we're in that weird ground where we ground out so much already in the beta that we're literally done. Like we couldn't level anything more if we wanted to. They were probably a little bit too generous with the beta 1 compensation for those of us that spent hours and hours and hours or spent money, to the point where we have way too much currency left over after maxing everything for the beta. So I don't know what they're going to do about that on launch to balance the scales with new players. There's no PvP, so it might not matter. But that's been good. Other than that, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, completely finished that. That's a sensational game. Watch Dogs Legion, Immortals Phoenix from Ubisoft. Honestly, man, I've played so many games in the last month, I've already forgotten half of them.
Yeah, Immortal Phoenix is next up on my list of games to play. I'm very excited to play that game. I'm 81 hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm not even close to finishing that game. So I
think I finished everything at about 102, so you might be closer than you think.
Yeah, well,
That's a long-ass game.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel it comparatively, man. I've played a lot of
don't know.
games that feel like that kind of thing, and honestly, depending on how you played it, like
I wanna
if
hear
you
this
went,
debate.
yeah, I felt long for you.
No, Charlie is not a fan of Valhalla.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
He loves
I've,
Assassin's Creed.
Interesting.
Assassin's Creed is my favorite game series of all time, and I have Assassin's Creed tattoos, and so I think Odyssey was my favorite game that they've done so far to date, with just what they were able to do, the gear grinding, the fact you can actually grind gear and it's random and you can find stuff and build and make builds based off of cool gear that you found and stats that you want or whatever. Didn't really get that from Valhalla. We kind of went over. I went into like massive detail over like why I didn't like it from previous episodes, but the gear of it is, I just feel like, I know I'm at the point now where I've always been in Assassin's Creed, like, okay, I'm in a new area, I have to do everything in that area, and then I move on. Yeah. And that's what I've always done. It's like, ooh, shiny, you have to go over here, finish that. Completely 100% area, moving on. The fact that there's like 15 areas to do, and it's taken me, I've gotten to the point now where I'm just doing story, and I'm like, I'm going to come back to this later, and I'm just going to chip away at it, because it's just like, it just feels so drawn out. I mean, story-wise, I finished 2 areas yesterday in about an hour and a half, so it's getting quicker, but now I'm at the point where I'm almost max level. I'm like 360 right now, and it's great and all, but I'm just
Charlie,
like,
I have an
okay,
interesting question. Let's
shoot.
say the areas only, or let's say Would this conversation be flipped if they didn't have all this content? Would it be there's just no content, there's no other things to do? Oh my goodness, this is kind of a bummer.
I don't
Is more
necessarily.
content make it bad?
I don't think that more content makes it bad per se. I just think that more content is. I don't know. It just feels like a lot of this. I feel like could have been DLC for the most part. Because I mean, the idea is in the game is you're a Viking that comes from Norway to England, and now you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're establishing your friendships, and you're trying to get people to come to your cause. And there's been times where like you're doing like these stronghold attacks where like you need to rally everyone from your crew that you've made friendships with and allegiance with to help attack this thing, and then like you're in a these battering rams that's barreling down the gates and you're doing that stuff, and it's awesome when that happens. But then like you can just climb over the wall and kill everybody yourself, and like you open the door for them, and but you do that like 9 times, and it gets really stale really quickly when that's all you're doing. So. And I just felt like the gameplay at this point for me for the sieges and whatnot has just been mash R1 like R1 R1 R2 cool R2 triangle, which is like my harpoon attack to kill the big guys. Great. Okay, on to the next thing. So I don't know. Maybe I've been trying to switch it up just to make it feel different. Like I've switched out weapons. Like I'm now using daggers, which I think is kind of rad because you can just like perma-stun somebody and you're good to go. I do like the fact that there's different weapons, but I don't like the fact that they're all predetermined. Like you just can't grind gear or get gear because it does. Otherwise, it's like why am I? Oh, I'm going to run around just to find another set that it takes forever to level up anyway. Like all my stuff's maxed out. Like why would I run around and do that? So I don't know. I have a lot of problems with it. I think it's a good game, but it's not my favorite. I would rank it out of the trilogy between Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. I rank it third. I think it's for me. It's Odyssey, Origins, and then Valhalla for me because they just took a lot of
dual
stuff out
spears. It'll change your life.
Oh, I'm using spears now because there was like one of the things that you got from the Twitch Prime loot where it gives you that whole set of armor with the spears. I mean I love the kill animations where you if you jump behind someone you like throw it through their neck, you like twist it and like step someone to pull the spear out. It's kind of cool, but I don't know, it's rad. What were your takeaways from it, Chew? Like what made you really dive in and love it?
So I get into it a lot more than I did the last 2 Assassin's Creed games. Like I got nowhere near completing as much of the regions as I did. Now I did hit a point like what you did though, because I was also going into a new zone, did everything, and then I thought I'd come back to story later. And then I realized that what was happening is I get frustrated because I couldn't find a particular collectible. I knew I was standing on it, but there was like a door that just felt like it wouldn't open but should. So I'm like, I don't know where this entrance is. What is it? And then, of course, you go back to the story and find out, oh, crap, this only opens when you're with a particular person from a story mission, so there was no point in me coming here. I found that when I stopped doing that and I followed the story and did parts of zones based on when the story took me there, everything went much more smoothly and it felt like much less of a grind because you were getting that balance of exploration with the main storyline stuff as well. And then when you decided to go off the beaten path to complete a zone when the story had very clearly moved out of there, I found a lot of the side quest is really what carried this game. Like some of it is hilarious. Like you would have seen the one where you go in and save a marriage because there's no fire in there, so you pretend they're raiding so that old mate can get it up again, right? There's just the most hilarious side quest in there that when you do them all, like there's one where you literally carry a blind guy and a deaf guy up in a mountain and they realize that they need to be friends forever because they can't really survive as one person. Like all those little side quest stories. Oh, there's insanity. The side quests, there's so much fun and flavor. Plus, when you get bored of being in the main area, you go off and do some of the side stuff that goes through Valhalla and Asgard. There's a lot to be had there. Because there's kind of 3 games in there, right? You have the main story and going through and uncovering that. You have your more traditional assassin type thing where you're trying to track down the people in this cult. You kill one guy, find more clues, figure out who the next person is. I will say I think that finishes on quite a poor note. Like, it's exactly who you think it is. And they don't really do it justice for you solving that big puzzle of who is leading this cabal of operatives the whole time. So I found the main story satisfying. The jump puzzle stuff that unlocks like the bonus cutscenes for what kind of happened without getting too spoilery, I think was really good as well. So like all that stuff combined, man, there was more stuff in this that hooked me, because when I got bored of one aspect of the game, I could just say screw it and move on and go do something else. And that, I didn't feel like I had that as much in the last two Assassin's Creeds. I like both of them, but this one I wanted to stick through right to the end. But then I found a spec that I really liked too. Like, it just kind of suited me, of just, this combination of dropping everyone with a hunting bow, and then getting real up close and personal with like Valkyrie spec. So you feel like you're just doing these big heroic leap barbarian style Diablo 2 type things from one pack to another, doing giant spins and then scorpion stabbing people to death. It just had a flow that really gave me a sense of, I'm kicking so much ass right now, that I started to feel like I was, an Asgardian god. So that whole experience, man, I really enjoyed. So to the point where I never really went back and did DLC in the others, but I'm definitely going to with this. I think we've got some new witches are coming out in February, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back and kill them for sure.
I'm definitely excited. When I finished God of War, the new one that came out a year and a half ago, I went like super hard into Norse mythology, like read up a bunch of stuff. There's Neil Gaiman, I think has a fantastic book of where he takes all the Norse mythology into one like super easy book to read. It's a great reading source if you haven't seen that or taken a look at that. So like, I was
Stephen Fry's got one too. I don't know if it's the same one we're talking about. Stephen Fry takes a lot of mythologies from European cultures especially, and breaks it down into like wonderfully accurate, but also just written like in these just great prose as well. Like the Stephen Fry version of that is awesome, dude. But Neil Gaiman, I've just been reading American Gods again. So
yeah, and I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to look into that. But
American Gods.
Yeah, I haven't read that. Yeah.
What's the Amazon series?
Oh, it's a series. That's right. I forgot. Yeah. But yeah, so I went like super hard into Norse mythology, and like due to God of War, because I thought that game just fired on so many levels, and so I was really excited to in Valhalla to go through that aspect without too much spoiling it for people who haven't played it. The whole Asgardian aspect of the two times that you're in Asgard for Valhalla. The storyline is just so good with that, and I honestly wish I had more of that in the game, because I found that aspect of who's there, the Isu, that whole aspect of like there's a whole nother like the characters in the world of Assassin's Creed, like the human race comes from a whole nother essentially like civilization that died because of a meteor or that kind of thing. I think that whole aspect of the storytelling of the Assassin's Creed story is fantastic, and I really miss that from the series as somebody who loves it. And I really think the series died storytelling wise with Assassin's Creed 3 once Desmond dies in the story, because I think that's where it kind of fell off. But like I really hope that it looks like they're with this trilogy of games.
Spoilers,
that
bro.
to pick up. It's been out for 5 years, 7 years. It doesn't matter. Like it's also they did a remaster which I really need to play again, so I'm very excited.
Savage, dude.
Yeah.
Actually,
Way to go! You wasted all the opportunity for me to get into this game, because now I know all about it. Way to go!
Did you guys have Hades
is
in your top game of the year stuff as well?
Yep.
I haven't played
that
it,
was
but
an awesome game.
Yeah.
It was God centric. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of speedrunners play it. I plan to play it at some point, but it looks actually. I love the like the new wave of retro games or the modern wave of retro style games, or I guess it's not really an 8-bit, but it kind of is in that realm. And I don't know. I love what people are doing. These indie studios are doing with some of these titles that are coming out.
Yeah, Hades is fantastic. I'm not good at the game, but I enjoy my time playing it. So
yeah, that's what
I like the fact.
That's all that matters.
I know that I like the fact that like I can play that game, and no matter how bad I am at it, I still progress. That's what gets me. Is like I can still like I don't feel like my time is wasted, which is, to me is my absolute pet peeve. Is I know Chew, you have a little one at home, so it's like anytime you can do gaming and be here with us is considered precious. So like whenever you can actually progress and do stuff, I feel like even if it's a tough game or roguelike or whatever, you can still get.
It's why I can't play Souls games anymore. Yeah. Like I don't have the patience for them, bro. I just don't.
Yeah, I have Dark Souls to play, and I beat the first boss on PS5, and it looks incredible.
Oh, you talking about Demon
It's
Souls?
gorgeous,
Demon
but
Souls,
goddamn it, it's frustrating if you die.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I hate both of you that you're both sitting there being like, yeah, all the time. I'd log like 100+ hours in that game, no problem right now if I had a PS5. Like
Right.
I can't fucking wait. But I also don't have a kid and I smoke a lot, so I have that level of patience to endure those kinds of frustrating moments.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. So, Chef or Dom, what have you guys been playing?
Take a guess.
You've been playing
Phasmophobia. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Phasmophobia and
Yeah,
this,
I mean,
this,
yeah.
this old MMO called Star Wars: The Old Republic, which we all are playing right now. So
It's
Yeah,
really
I need to
funny.
get on
what
it,
a funny,
man.
What a funny thing that's happened. You know, this all spawned too. I don't know if I'm sure I told some of you. My buddy in like another Discord I'm in was like buying. They were talking about Knights of the Old Republic, not the Old Republic, and he's like, "Oh, we should all play together. We could do like we could start sync up and start at the same time and play. You know, blah blah blah." And he got a few people copies, and then the next day he goes, "Oh, I messed up. I own the Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic." And I was like, "Oh shit, dude! Like I've been in that game forever. I haven't played in years, but I'll hop back in." And he played for an hour with me, and was like, "Nah." It's
And-
like,
that's it. He's like, I'm done.
and then the avalanche started for Uncle Ashy over here, and
Yeah,
just
you
went
started
buck
moving,
wild.
buddy. We've all come through.
Well,
Like I've been I hit level 75 in that game and slowly gearing up to 300. I think I'm like 289 now, and I just started doing. I've been doing the story stuff, the new expansions, and I'm
Yeah.
actually. I don't know if you had if you went into detail on your podcast, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts about the story of just it's they're what 5 years old at this point or something with the expansions, but I have to say, man, BioWare has always been a master at
Great
telling
writers.
stories.
Great
And
writers.
I'm just hooked. Like I'm absolutely hooked on what's going on in the expansions. It's
Eternal
so
Empire
good.
is really good.
Oh man, I'm really stoked to be back in it, to be honest, because I played a little bit of Muckhead when it first came out, and that's around the time that I fell out of the game after the first one. So yeah, like the whole Shadows of Revan, I thought they did that storyline really well. Knights of the
Very
Eternal
fun.
Throne, I think I've got 3 or 4 chapters left. It's been tremendous, like how cinematic it is, and the way that they've added so much storytelling between each of the chapters as well. Not just from your character's perspective, but showing what else is going on along the galaxy and the villain stuff as well.
Yep.
I
It
love the
makes
villain
me,
shit.
Oh, really good. Really good. So I've been really stoked with it, man. And it's holding up a lot better than a lot of other older MMOs. Like, I tried to go
Yes,
back to WoW
yes.
and bounced off it so hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's because,
You talking about like
they've-
retail?
Retail, yeah, I haven't played
Yeah.
Classic at
Yeah.
all, yeah. And yeah, I mean the fact that you can do a little bit of upscaling, you can run it at pretty much unlimited frames if you've got a half decent
Yep.
rig. Like I'm running it at max refresh. It's really good, and you can tell that the later move sets that they added as well as costumes, they actually like built it a little bit more designed. Like they weren't kind of stuck in the older ways like they had with WoW, like based on the original engine. They've kind of tweaked it a little bit, so it looks quite good as well. So it's not bad. They do a bad job of telling you what order to do things, I think. Like, I'm glad that I
That
found
is
a cheat
100%.
sheet
I have
online
to look
saying,
that up
do
all the
this, this,
time.
this, and this. And it's not that hard to do. It's a very minor complaint. But, yeah, for the most part, I've been really impressed, man. I mean, the economy is absolutely broken in that game. Like, the
Yeah.
most basic things cost, like, 50 million on the auction house. You're like, how? And it's like, oh, I wonder what the most expensive thing on the auction house is. It's like $1 trillion or something. Like, it's just ludicrous. So,
Can I tell you my favorite
yeah.
part of this game? My best friend and I have been doing our storylines at the same time. So he's a bounty hunter and I'm a Sith sorcerer, and we crack the fuck up over the fact that he wins the role on executing people every time, and like we'll roll up in a room together and I'm like, oh, here comes Billy Badass just gonna go blasting people down, and he gets actually really upset when they don't let him execute people, and like
Right.
it has just been like it's been hilarious to see how we both choose the same exact things every time, and especially the flirt options, like we just die laughing over it. So like
Yeah.
to me that's a aspect of MMO gaming that I think they nailed and is actually highly overlooked when people are talking about a co-op experience, and the fact that he can do his storyline and we can do them like together while we're doing the planet storyline at the same time, because they correspond with one another throughout the progression of the game. And the other part I really like about the game is the whole legacy system that they built out, and how it kind of
Oh, yeah.
it kind of pushes you to try out the different classes and to go through the storylines, and you're actually, I mean, heavily rewarded for it, obviously, because in the term legacy, I mean, it basically is a account-wide set of features and things you can unlock as you're progressing, and I think that's really cool. I don't know, it's a great game. I definitely would put it up there in my top 3 of all-time MMO games I've played. Actually, yeah, I think I would, because for me it would go EverQuest, World of Warcraft. I mean, just be on a personal level, it would go those two as the first two, and then I think it just does a great job. Like Final Fantasy 14 for me would be number 3, if for not the fact that I just can't get into the game. Like, I think it's a great game. They have a huge fan following. I think everything about the game is great, but the combat system is just super boring and slow for me, so I could never really like get into it. But I love the golden saucer in that game. So for me, I think Star Wars is like probably, people were asking in the chat, like, is it a good game to come back to? Yeah, I think it's great.
Yep.
And they make it very easy for you to get back into it, and it's not such a painful grind. Like, it doesn't really feel like I'm way far ahead of where I should be, which is fine, and they scale it down.
That aspect of like being able, like anybody who's high level, and I love that they did this in Guild Wars 2 way back in the day, is that anybody who's high level who wants to play with lobby characters, they're still rewarded for doing stuff for like that's on their tier, so that way they don't feel like time's wasted for them, but they can still help out people. Like, we had somebody who asked for help in game in our guild, whatever, say, hey, I need help with this story. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll come help out. And I got like a purple item and whatnot. So like, you can still play the game free to play. You don't have to spend any money on it. But like, I'm subscribed to it because it's more than worth the $15 that I got out of that time. And then I'll continue to play it. It's the time invested, I feel, is great. The storylines is amazing. The world building, I think, has increased over the years, and like the cool stuff they have, like the cartel stuff, like you can get the bounty hunter skins. I think like the Mandalorian stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
I instantly got that shit.
Yeah. So I just like for anybody who's like listening to this and wants to play, like hop on our Discord. Discord links down below. You can take a look there, and we're all playing. We're playing the Imperial side on Satil Shan.
Yeah. No light side shit over here.
And so we're having a good time. And the nice thing,
I would have played it. Go ahead,
I'm sorry. I'm just a weirdo. I love like the horde, the dark side. Like, that's just thing. If I'm gonna play the game, I have to.
Yeah, but like if you're gonna hop in and play, like you don't. It's no. The nice thing is, like, you can pick it up and play however you want. Like, you don't have to worry about it. Like, it's not like, I don't know. I just feel like if you pick it up or you play, whether or not, some people were saying in chat just now that like they're like, I play it irregularly. Like, that's fine. You don't have to like. You don't have to be in there every single day playing it. Like, you can just play at your own pace, and that's what I like about it so much. Is everyone can hop in, do flashpoints once you get level 15, which takes like 30 minutes to get level 15, and then
that's the MVP move.
Yeah, and like everyone can like play, have fun, and enjoy it. So it's amazing. But
I probably actually the light side classes are really good, and I probably would have been more into it if there were just people. The population is way more on the dark side in the game right now.
Yeah, and the Jedi Knight storyline actually defines the entire Shadows of Revan storyline. Like, what happens in the Jedi Knight story, you actually hear that. So you already know what happened. You just don't know that it's your character that triggers that. But Crondo, I reckon the reason it's so easy to get into this game where you bounce off things like Final Fantasy 14, and you don't really think about it when you're playing it, every single quest giver in this game is voice acted.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
I can't think of another game that is this far on in its cycle. Like, a lot of them did it for like the vanilla game, and then after that, it's just like, all the voice actors have moved on to something else, whatever. There's not many that do it, and I'm really stoked to be back in a BioWare game where they are nailing it, because, I mean, you said that BioWare's always done good stories. I think their first decade, their last 6-7 years, not so much. I think they've really fallen off, and now I can see where the people that were honestly doing the right thing were on this game still. So it's awesome.
And there's actually quite a lot of people running around too. Like, I always see a ton of people running around. So, and I haven't even touched the ship battle stuff yet. Like I haven't even
Oh,
really.
don't. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I just
not fun.
it's okay. Well,
The
that's, I
PvE
mean, it's not my cup
stuff?
of tea, anyways.
The PvE stuff is fantastic. It's really a lot of fun. But
Yes,
the PvP
sure.
stuff with the ship battles, not for me whatsoever.
Cancer.
Just play Squadrons.
Yeah, just play
Yeah, man,
Squadron.
honestly, if you want to
Just
do
play
that, let's just
Squadrons.
roll up in Squadrons. I'd be down for that shit, 100%.
You
Well,
have, you have it for PC, obviously. True.
I've got it on PC and I run it with VR and a full-on HOTAS.
do
It's
it.
a
See, I
nerd
want-
16-year-old's
yeah.
dream, bro. Like honestly,
I
yeah.
know.
I have to keep pausing because my erection gets too hard when I'm in the X-wing, bro.
Keeps hitting you in the
I
face.
love you.
Yeah.
It
exactly.
just pops up.
It's
I
so much fun.
want VR straight up just for that game. I know I will use it for other games,
Worth it.
but I want it for that game.
And with the flight stick, you got to do it. And flight stick with the throttle separately, because that experience, man, of being able
Dude,
to
we're
just
talking like 800
pivot,
deep right there.
punch it. I know. I know this. Yeah, it's
I can't
it's
spend
a
any
privileged
money
move.
for the next like 2 months.
Yeah, I feel you,
Borrow my
man.
Quest,
But
though.
yeah.
There
This is
you
why
go.
I wish I lived in the US, man. We have this stuff all the time, that being able to like share shit with your friends, like being over here, it's the one thing I miss. It's just like I come across something like this. I'm in a situation where I've always got the latest toys. That's what I miss, is being able to say, you need to play this. Like I can't afford it. Go, look, just fucking take it for a week, right? Just take it. Like I need you to experience this. And I honestly wish that I could do that for you right now, my man, because it is that level of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely I was looking like the first mission I play in Squadrons. I was like, let me check out like a low key flight stick, and it was like, oh okay, like this is not a cheap. And if you can get cheap
Yeah.
ones, but like fuck that, like the cheap.
Well,
ones are
like the
shit.
level of mapping you can do too, because I got this bad boy from Logitech, and I just love being in an X-wing. Like honestly, I push buttons half the time when I don't need to, just because you can do shit like you can map everything like your throttles to the pins, and they're the hardcore metal ones. So you can just go like punching the shields. You just basically forward shields, rear shields, back shields, and then like punch it to your engines. Like the amount of like how intuitive it feels when you've got this setup nailed, because you can just reprogram everything. And
yeah.
one thing with joysticks I think I've always done wrong, because I used to love these when I was a kid, I never realized the modern sticks, it's not just forward, back, side to side, it twists.
Yeah.
It twists,
Yeah.
right? I never knew that shit. Because it's basically you have everything on the stick. It's not, anything outside of that. So you have your pitch, your yaw, your thrust, everything's on there. So it's so much fun, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah. I beat the game and I didn't play it anymore, but I didn't have anyone to play with on multiplayer, so I don't know. Let's get it going, baby.
Absolutely, man. Well, I think it's cross-platform too. So I mean, it doesn't matter that I'm on PC.
Oh, it
I'm
is, that's
confident we
right.
can play
It is.
together. Yeah.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Right.
Because I have it on PS5 or PlayStation
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yep.
So I
Yeah, it's
wanna
cross-platform.
try
They'll
it.
try and match you with your own people first, but playing with friends, you just gotta like sync your
own
EA
people.
accounts and you're good to go.
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. Yeah, I mean, maybe well, it's not that expensive. I mean, the HOTAS is expensive, but even still, it's kind of, I mean, you can still hook up a controller to it and still be fine with it. But that's wild. I wanna give it a try. I have Squadrons. I picked it up on a sale. It was like $20 when it was like a
It
PSN
seems like
sale.
it goes on sale a bunch. It's a good game.
Yeah, well, it's
the
like
story
40
is fun. It's a
retail.
good story.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it? Oh, that's right. It is like
Yeah.
40 retail. Yeah,
Because
But, like,
they're not
Yeah.
supporting it going forward. Well, they said they weren't. They've already added 2 ships and 2 maps, so who knows?
Oh. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna try it this week because I have a list of games I wanted to play, but maybe I'll add that to that. Josh, what are you playing?
So I've been going old school. I'm doing what Chewburger's about to do for the first time. I wish I was him. I wish I was about to do all these for the first time, but I blasted through Resident Evil 1 real quick. I stumbled across. I found this YouTube channel that on repeat on a loop for 24 hours plays speed runs of all Resident Evil games and like a no-hit games, like different categories. So I was like, this is dope, for me. Like I just leave it on the background while I'm working because I love Resident Evil games. But one thing I noticed is they had a like an updated version of RE2 and RE3, and I was like, what the fuck? So I found these redone, or like they're fan-based games. They use like machine learning to upgrade the textures of everything. So it's like the original PS1 versions, but with updated graphics. So I played through Resident Evil 2. I played through Resident Evil 3, and then I was like, shit, I should do the remakes. So I played Resident Evil 2 Remake, and then I started playing RE3 Remake. And now I've almost platinumed the game, and I've sank probably like a good like 40, 50 hours into it the last week. I'm having a blast with it. I beat the game in an hour and 15 minutes, and I was feeling like a fucking champion afterwards. Yeah, Yeah, and so I'm gonna do RE4 next, and I'm playing all the way up to 7 because I've never played 7. So, yeah, I'm
You're in
playing
for a
all the
treat.
way. Yeah, I'm excited about it, but I'm playing all the way up right now, and just kind of preparing myself for 8. And they just, I gotta say that, and I posted this in the chat, but they actually have a collector's edition for a price tag of $1,800 if you'd like to buy Chris Redfield's jacket that he's wearing and his in the demo or whatever. So I thought that was absolutely asinine that they're actually selling a $1,800 collector's edition version of RE8.
I'm not
But
surprised.
they think gamers got infinite. I mean, I guess with people buying GameStop stock, they can use some of that to buy the
GameStop.
RE8 collector's edition. GameStonk.
Yeah, I mean that's rad. I just piggybacking off of what you just said, I actually just did a full Resident Evil 7 playthrough in VR, which was amazing. I played it on PlayStation VR. I streamed the whole thing. So if you want, you can. I'll put a link in our Discord for the playthrough. I did the entire thing. It's on YouTube. It took me like 6 hours to do it. I had already played the game, and I had platinum Resident Evil 7, and so I had infinite ammo, the circular saw. I just went through and just played it. I mean that's if you were to play the game in for the first time, it'll probably take you like 20 hours to beat the first time around. But the game is so good, and it's terrifying in VR until you get used to it. So,
Agreed.
So if you are you playing on a PC, Chew, or are you playing on PlayStation?
So I'm gonna play 1 through 6, but I need to ask this question, Crondo. What is Resident Evil 0? Where the hell does that fit in? Do I need to play that first before 1?
No,
It's 3 and 4.
Yeah,
3 and 4.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not. It's definitely. For me, if you're gonna sit down and you're gonna play the series in its true fashion, I would go 1, 2. I would just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that would be the way to do it, because 0 and Revelations were kind of like in between stories. Kind of like, what was that one Star Wars game that came out that was like in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi? Shadows of Colossus or something like that. Yeah, Force. Yeah, kind of like that. I said Shadows of the Colossus. That's the name of a freaking video.
You think it's Shadows of the
No,
Empire?
Shadows of the Empire. Is that what it is?
That was the N64 game. Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
Right.
But kind of like that, where it's like an
you're
in
talking about Shadows of the
between.
Empire.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shadows of the Colossus, man. Okay.
Also a
Anyways,
good game.
great game. But yeah, I would start at 1, and you gotta see, the other thing is, and I don't know how balls deep you want to go into it, but if you play 2, if you play as Leon, it's gonna give you Claire B. So like you play as Leon A, and then you can do Claire's story from when Leon starts. Now when you once you beat that one, it's like, oh, you can start as Claire and then play Leon's secondary story, and they're actually all different.
If it's different stories, I'll probably do it. I'll probably do it sequentially once through first, and then go back and play like those kind of side storylines. But
So I'm gonna tell you this.
I'll play on the PSVR. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you this right now. Playing as Jill in RE1 is a good time. Playing as Chris Redfield sucks complete asshole and is actually like incredibly difficult in RE1. Even in like the little remaster they did, he just gets absolute screwed on ammunition, and you just can't keep up with it. Like you have to play it in a true, like, okay, I'm gonna dodge these people instead of trying to mow all these zombies down. But with Jill, you can just like murk everything. And then in 2, Leon's harder than Claire, because Claire gets like the grenade launcher and the bow gun, and then Leon doesn't get that kind of same stuff, but he gets the Colt Magnum, and like, so there's like nuances between them. But I'm gonna be real honest with you, RE3 is hard as shit. I had never played it before, and I'm playing it in the remaster version right now. Like Nemesis always comes after your ass, like non-stop, and it's actually terrifyingly painful, and you die a lot. RE4, arguably the best one in the whole series, probably one of the best games I ever played in my whole life. Just a great fucking game, man. RE4 is so much fun because you're Leon, and you're like a one-man army, dude. Like you just go in there and you can get upgrades for the guns. The enemies drop money. Like you actually have to do all the collectibles in order to be able to afford all the guns. Like 5 is good. 6 is kind of meh. I'm not gonna lie. 6 was very meh because it's more of an action game instead of like an actual survival horror game. And 4 encapsulates the whole. That's such a good game, dude. But 2's also a good one.
Are you going to do the OG games, Chew, or are you going to do the remasters as well?
Oh,
I think the remasters is the ones that I got because there was that crazy Steam sale before
Yeah.
the Christmas sale where it was like you got everything for. I don't remember how much it was, but I remember thinking this if I don't buy it now, I'm never gonna play this game. Do you know what I mean? Like I always save Resident Evil after I missed the first one. I thought, no, one day I'll do the Netflix binge on this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they're all the remastered versions of the ones that I have. Yeah,
I mean,
including the Revelations.
yeah,
and-
I mean, I think if I were gonna go back in time, I mean, if you're like a true fan, if you find those games to be amazing, and for whatever reason you're like, you know what, I want to play the originals, then you're good. But dude, the remakes were just they're both so
they're
fun.
They're very good. Like,
yeah.
the Resident Evil 2 like set a precedent of like how good these remasters could be.
Yeah.
And then Resident Evil 3, I really enjoyed it, but yeah, it's so good. I'm very excited for 8. Speaking of that, they had the demo that was on the PlayStation. Did you play it at all, Chew? I know it's a PS5 exclusive right now, so I'm curious if you played it at all.
Yeah, so somebody in this channel that wants to play it desperately bad doesn't need to get a chance because fuck all you people with your PS5s. I'm jealous.
It was hard to do if you had the PS5. Like there was like almost server crashing and shit. Like it constantly mid-download would cut out, and everyone was saying they had the same issue. So it took me a couple of days to get it, but I wanted to talk about it on the pod. So the more I talked about this a little bit on our pod as well, that the more realistic games like this get, and things like Mortal Kombat, like the more they freak fatalities on friends on Super Nintendo because it was hilarious. Now I don't do fatalities in Mortal Kombat because I'm like, it's too gross. It fucks me up. I don't want to do it. Right? So, but like how good the graphic fidelity get. The thing, one of the reasons I don't like survival horrors is because what Resident Evil did really well from the couple of games I've dabbled in is tight spaces, darkness, jump scares, claustrophobia. Like they're amazingly good at making you feel at a threat at any time. And so few game series do that consistently like this. Resident Evil 8, out of all of them, with the exception of 7 played in VR, I haven't really felt like that. Like it's so much more tangible. Like you're looking at the brickwork like right there, and you're kind of feeling like the walls closing in as you're walking down some of the hallways. Like it's really, really good. It's smooth. It feels slick. The puzzles feel a little bit kind of smoother, if you will. Obviously, the demo was relatively limited. You didn't get to do too much. And then, of course, you meet the new villain at the end of that first section, which is just I'm already sold based on that. It's the main reason of where they're going with this story that I want to play through the story of RE. Because as I said, I don't like survival horror games, but I've always loved the lore that I keep hearing people talk about with Resident Evil. Like I want to know this universe like I love my other gaming universes. So I'm pumped, man. Honestly, March I'm looking forward to. It's going to be RE back to back to back to back until I roll straight into that. So
nice.
Yeah, it's exciting. I was wondering where they were going to take it, and then I won't spoil it at all for anyone who hasn't played it or very interested. But like the way that Chef was saying that like Resident Evil 4 is such a good, like Resident Evil 4 took the series in a new direction of like what's going on with the virus.
Yep.
Because it's like, okay, where are they going to go? How are they going to do this? Blah blah blah. And so I think that like, okay, now up to 7 was so good because of like what they introduced into the world of how things are spreading and how they're trying to contain it, especially with the DLC is pretty rad too. I definitely recommend the DLC. When you start playing it, it's hard and it's good, but man, 8 is just like, it just looks so good. I'm so excited to get my hands on it. I like as soon as I saw that it was pre-orderable. It comes out in May, I want to say. I think I'm very excited to get my hands on it. So
the other
some streams.
One last thing on the topic of Resident Evil. So they actually and they did this whole RE showcase the other day, which was really dope. But the one thing that a lot of people were disappointed about was that there had been rumors that they're working on an RE4 remake similar to 2 and 3, and actually they came out and said that it's been postponed because the studio that did 3, anybody that has played RE3 remake knows that It's a great game. It's just that they definitely left a lot out, and there was a lot.
Yeah.
People were very upset about the fact that they left a lot of areas out, and it was just too quick. And I guess some people didn't like the gameplay. I thought it was phenomenal, personally. I mean, I've been playing the shit out of it the last few days. But anyways, they Capcom pulled the game away for the project away from M2, who did 3, and brought it back in house because they don't want to fuck up 4. Like they're so they're
That's so
it-
good
which
of them.
it actually it's very good of them, because I guess what happened was they saw what happened with FF7 remake, and a lot of people just didn't like it, and so SquareSoft pulled that title back in house, and yeah, I guess Capcom's doing the same thing with RE4 remake. Cool, because and now they're like saying that it might be 2023 before it comes out. I don't give a shit, dude. Wait till 2024. Do not give me Anthem RE4 remake. Like, I will be, actually pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, don't do this to me. Okay, so yeah. But anyways,
I'm always in the case of like take all the time you need to make sure a game is good. I'll happily wait. I'll wait an extra year. I'll wait an extra 2 years. Like just because you're trying to build hype. I mean, we don't want another Cyberpunk. Is what it comes down
do
to.
not give me. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, you guys hear me bitch about a lot of things, and I like bitching. Holy shit! If they mess up RE4 remake, I will bitch. I could bitch for an hour straight. I could do a full episode about how I fucking hate the world. Just saying.
It feels like the game on our podcast that we shit on the hardest since we started has been Avengers from last year.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
everything they
Oh
said
yeah.
they were going to do, it is just ongoing. It's
I-
like, yeah,
I-
next month you're going to have this new character. Nope. We'll have raids. Nope. Every month it's nothing. Just nothing. And from Crystal Dynamics Square Enix, I've never seen anything like that from them before. Like this, just absolutely nothing.
I will say, playing with the crew that we had in that game, and actually, meeting a couple of the squad guys we had with your, on the Choose Avengers Discord and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I got to meet a couple. Like Leo has been a great person to hang out with outside of
Yeah, man.
Avengers, but like just like I had such good potential, and they just completely murked it, man. They just fucked it up hardcore, and I was really upset because I really wanted that game to do well because I really wanted.
We
just
all
to make
did,
that.
man.
And I feel like, I don't know, they need, maybe it'll be good in a year or two or whatever if it survives that long, but I don't know. It's just going to be sad, unfortunately. So, but yeah,
I'm hoping
agree.
it goes through the Destiny Division 1 journey where it started off rough, nothing to do, and they took the time. So on the 16th of Feb, you're going to see a live stream where they're going to show Hawkeye, the raid, and the PS5 new Xbone version.
There's a raid coming.
Yeah, so the announcement when they're going to show you through that'll be on the middle of next month, which means there's no way we're going to see any of that before March. So apparently March, they reckon we're going to get at least Hawkeye and the first raid, and then possibly the Xbone versions in May, June, is the rumors at this stage.
interesting.
The weird thing is, I like Hawkeye, I like Kate Bishop, but man, they should have did a more fun character to be the first character for DLC.
Well,
they
two
should do
Hawkeyes
some-
back to back too. Like,
Yeah,
what?
they
the
should have just done
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Where's
It's a
Spider-Man
different
coming? It's
character.
supposed to be March, right? Supposedly?
He was supposed to be January originally. With the original timeline, we should have been playing him right now.
Man, you talk about disappointment. They just
Yeah.
completely just like...
Dude, I played a few of the beta, I played a few missions, and then I was like, you know what? Done. I'm good. Got everything
Yeah.
I needed.
What was the point? There was
You
no
want to know
point.
when you're in a bad space is when Anthem actually announces their new gear plan before you do. Like that actually happened. Yeah. Anthem announced their new gearing system about 8 weeks ago, and we're still to see any commentary. Like they keep talking about all the new stuff they're going to add to the game, but the reason this game sucks more than anything is that when you finish the content, you don't want to keep playing it because the gear sucks. It is no better than what you already have. So yeah, the fact that Anthem got that out there first, hilarious.
Yeah, and actually, if they actually make Anthem free, it might be worth playing because I actually enjoyed the mechanics of Anthem quite a bit. But like,
Same.
after you got past, after you did the first raid or whatever, the stronghold, you're like, okay, what? What do I do now? Oh, it's all the same. Oh,
Yeah.
great. This is not fun. So, but anyways, I'll finish off with what we're playing real quick. There's a new game that came out, so anyone knows that like I'm a sucker for King Arthur games, and there's a new game that just came out. It's called King Arthur: A Knight's Tale, where you play as it's like a reverse of King Arthur, where like King Arthur's the bad guy in this game. and you're playing as Mordred and as the savior of Avalon, and I thought it was very interesting. It's very much like I thought it was like a real-time strategy game, but actually it turns out it's more akin to like Divinity, Baldur's Gate, that kind of stuff, where like you have characters that you're playing, but it's not like real time like Divinity is, where you can access your equipment and change anything at any time. You have missions that you play, and you can gear people up in between missions, and you have to go in with strategy to like beat certain things and different characters. Like you start off with like Lady, you have like Bedivere and Gawain and Lady. I'm trying to remember her name off the top of my head, but from all the King Arthur lore. So the game looks really great. It's in early access right now. Like I streamed it when it first went live on the 26th, and I beat the story in 30 minutes. I was like, okay, that was weird. But if you like those sort of games where it's like Divinity style, Baldur's Gate style, I definitely recommend it. I think it's like $30 right now, something like that. They're planning more stuff, and they have side missions and everything. It looks phenomenal. I really enjoy the gameplay. I'm looking forward to playing more of it, and just gearing stuff out. And it's just a breath of fresh air from different stuff, because I haven't played many PC games lately, so it's kind of fun. So, but yeah, and then let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I tried out Iron Man VR for the first time. I know it's like the game came out like 6 months ago, but man, I tell you what, I've never had a more satisfying experience in VR than like flying around as Iron Man. It was so much fun. And there's a new MMO free-to-play game that's on the PlayStation Store. I'm sure it's on Xbox away, called Bless Unleashed, which is just like your stereotypical like Eastern Korean MMO or whatever. But it's fun for a game that's free on PlayStation, Xbox, wherever. It's like an action MMO. I'm playing an archer, just rolling around. I play for like an hour or two, something like that, just to have some sort of difference in, just trying out new things and seeing what's out there. Because I really liked Black Desert Online for PlayStation, but I don't know. I can't. As much as I've tried to get back into that game, I know, Chew, I tried to bring you with me to play it at some point, and you're like, oh yeah, the end game just seems super grindy, and they just, it's just whatever. I mean. Yeah, the gameplay itself is fun, but I just couldn't. It just
Wait. You mean to tell me that you play other games other than Marvel Strike Force, man? Like,
yes, I've been playing way more than other games.
Man, what is wrong with you?
What is Marvel Strike Force?
It's this,
greatest game of all time.
It's a money pit for some.
Yeah, Google it. Greatest video game of all time.
Yeah, a lot
came out in 2018.
A lot of different games that we've all been playing. So, what are some things you guys are looking forward to? I can say without a doubt, the number one game I'm looking forward to right now is Returnal on PS5.
I don't even know what I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to Demon Souls.
We lost a month, but yeah, man, that game looks real good, 100%. And the fact you got the fast SSD on the PS5 for it as well. I mean, have you been watching the mechanic videos and how they're like linking the controller with that game for PS5?
Yes, I saw a little bit where like how you could do the difference in the triggering mechanisms.
Yeah.
Where you do half pull or full pull depending on activates different abilities. I'm very stoked for it. And the game just looks gorgeous.
I know what I'm excited for. New Pokemon Snap.
Oh, is that coming out for real?
Looks good. Yeah, April 26th. Yeah.
Oh, I will definitely be buying that. That's a good old time right there. On Switch, right?
Oh, also
of course.
Back 4 Blood.
What am I talking about?
Back 4 Blood
looks awesome, dude. We are going to be all over that on A&R, so we definitely need to team up for some stuff there. 100%.
PC or console for that? You guys
I'm doing
probably both, to be honest, just to give me the ability to play with all the boys. Yeah, for me. But if I had to choose one, it'd be PS5.
Okay, I'll pick it up for PS5 then, and I'll probably also, depending on what Dom does or whatever, if we have a more of a community
PC.
says they want to do PC, we'll try both.
I'm definitely playing that with like my other alliance. We all play the alpha together. We had a good time, so I'll be playing the shit out of that.
Yeah, I saw you stream it with the alpha. So explain to me. I've only seen you like the basics of it. I haven't really dived too much into it, but like so it's like Left 4 Dead, right?
Cards. Yeah. Well, so it's the OG creators, not creators. I'm sure it was some of it. It was some of the team from Left 4 Dead. Like it's funny. It's not what is it? Valve bought Left 4 Dead, and then some shit changed. Whatever. Left 4 Dead 2 has been the same thing for a bit now. But so they started Back 4 Blood, which is I think a hilarious troll on that whole thing. but similar, similar style of game. Different characters, different class stuff, but there's cards, kind of like didn't Gears of War 3 do cards? It's cards with different abilities and like perks and shit like that. And you get cards via finding them on the ground. You get them from finishing missions, shit like that. And it like it was really, I was like surprised. I was like, because those games get kind of boring after a bit. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, a million zombies, World War Z, Left 4 Dead 2, whatever. You know what I mean? There's only so much you could do, but I liked it. I had a good time. I'm intrigued.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the game that we were playing back in? Like I told you about that. I thought was a kind of fun on.
Was it World War Z?
World War Z. Yeah. So that actually,
Yeah, that game is fun.
I
It's
picked
still
it up. Yeah.
I played it a while.
It's like $20. You can pick it up. It's a lot of fun to play.
Not even, dude. You could probably find it for $5 at this point. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually, now that I was thinking about, I thought when you said you were playing Days Gone, I thought you were playing World War Z. Choose. So Days Gone is pretty amazing. I'll have to go back and play or try that out on the PS5 if they've optimized it for that, because that was a really good game. The storyline's kind of weird, but I also kind of liked it. But
yeah,
I finished everything in that game. I love the horde mechanics in that game. It was really good.
Yeah, it gets fun, man, for sure.
Especially once you like in the beginning and you're trying to like outrun them on your bike and they just completely overwhelm you and you're just like totally fucked. It's great.
Yeah, get that one guy you didn't see crash take you off your bike, and you're like, well, this is done.
Yeah. Chef, anything you're looking forward to?
Yeah, getting a PS5 sometime in the next 20 years.
I'm sure you'll, or maybe in the next 19 you'll get it. But
No, I actually spent my money that I had saved up for a PS5. So
did you spend it on GameStop?
I spent it on a real life version of a Beretta M9 that I used to carry in Resident Evil.
Oh,
Cool.
Because you never know when the zombie apocalypse is going to hit, and your boy is going to be prepared.
there you go.
I went a different angle. I went lightsabers. I literally just ordered my first 2 lightsabers ever. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Nice. Hey, you know what? We can meet up. I mean, you're a little far away, but if the zombie apocalypse hits, there's lightsabers and handguns. I feel like that's like
I'll be the guy that is the distraction because he's literally glowing in the dark, and you can just take him out.
That perfect. I mean
Sound
this
effects, yeah.
this weapon has slain billions of zombies in Resident Evil, so I feel like it's definitely got to be the weapon of choice, right?
I'm just saying, I think I'd be popular in a zombie apocalypse because if there's anything you definitely want in an apocalypse is a fat guy that you know is slower than you are. Right? That's
Hell yeah.
100% what you want on your team because you know that at least that guy's going before you are.
Yeah, you just have to outrun the other person,
Oh,
Exactly.
man.
and then you'll be good. Yeah, that's it. So,
Good stuff.
anything else you guys are looking forward to that's coming out in the next? It doesn't have to be next month, but anything of that sorts.
In the short term, there's a game called It Takes Two. I don't know if you guys have looked at that coming out of EA. This game is really different. So imagine, it's been a while since anyone's tried something like this. It kind of seems like it's going to be a party game type thing, if you will, but the way they're setting it up is really interesting. So it's like this couple that's gone into like marriage counseling is the setup for the story. Like it's real lame-ish. But then basically their journey of like kind of falling back in love together, if you will, is over the course of this game. But all the missions and the art style, it's like, I know 15 different game genres in one game. Watch the trailer because describing this game is almost impossible for me to do. And in concept, it's not a game that I would play. It's kind of like, do you remember Edith Finch? Do you remember how like that wasn't a game, but it was just a spectacular experience to play it?
Yes.
This game kind of gives me more of like, if you did more playing of the actual characters, it's this. Just watch the trailer for It Takes Two. I'm doing a terrible job of doing it any justice. But that's one of the few games that didn't get bumped in Q1 this year. So that's on its way. I'm going to check out a real lo-fi game coming out. You're going to be able to play a demo on Steam on February 3rd, which is Glitchpunk, which is like a cyberpunk game if it was set in GTA 2. So top-down, lo-fi graphics, a storyline that kind of feels a little bit more like Shadowrun Hong Kong, which was an awesome, one of my favorite RPGs, man. So I'm going to check that demo out on the 3rd. It looks awesome sauce. Returnal was my #1 most anticipated for Q1. That's been bumped to April now. There's a demo of a new Magic game coming out in, I think, March. March 23 is going to be open beta.
Gathering?
But it is a Diablo-style game in the Magic universe. So it's really good looking. It's called Magic Legends. What I love about this, though, is that your deck is your kit. So in Diablo, you pick your spec and those 5 abilities, or whatever it is in your spec, that's your 5 abilities for that rift, right? You're locked in. What this does is your 5 abilities rotate on your deck. So you might use ability in your first slot, you've burnt it. You've burnt that card. Your fireball's done. And it randomly draws the next card. So your abilities over the course of that mission will change as you go through, like a Magic the Gathering deck. Check out the trailer for it, Magic Legends. It looks really different. And with not knowing when I'm going to get my next ARPG fix, because Torchlight 3 was a dumpster fire, I'm really looking forward to the hope that this is bringing. Yeah,
interesting. I haven't looked into the ARPG realm in a long ass time. I think the last one I was even considering was, well, it's not even ARPG, it's more turn-based stuff, which is Wasteland 3. I want to say.
Love that game. Can't recommend it enough. It's awesome. I mean, if you like Fallout 2 and the old Wasteland, you're gonna love this. It's a better version of those games. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a new Fallout game so bad.
Well, man, you don't think Fallout 76 is enough?
Fallout 76 can lick my balls. They got me good, man. $60, and then 2 days later they start selling it for 20. I'm like, what?
Were you a New Vegas fan?
I love New Vegas.
Did you see that there is a community mod that basically they released their own expansion pack this month?
No way.
No.
The content is about the same amount of hours as the original game. The downside is, boys, I'm telling you about it a day late. It's temporarily down. One of the guys that helped them build that game, I'm not going to tell you what, to protect you guys on the stream and not get taken down, did some pretty dark shit, let's put it that way.
Oh,
so
okay.
the mods, until they sort of see the full details of this, they've taken it down. But have a look at community-made New Vegas mod, and honestly, it's like New Vegas 2.0. It's awesome. It's really, really good. If you love New Vegas, it feels very Obsidian-esque, like as in they made it. So, yeah, if you want to get some more Fallout world in the old school, you know, really kind of cheeky humor, really fun gameplay, there is a community version of that coming again very soon.
Awesome. Well, I'm stoked to check that out. I love New Vegas. So
That was
so good. But
Fallout 4 was like such a good experience, man.
so long ago too. We need something new. So hopefully we'll get something. Personally, I know we didn't really touch on this really quickly, but I'll just do it really fast. We talked about it on the in the Discord when it happened. I'm very excited for.
The Knights of the Republic.
No, Massive being able to is going to be doing a or the fact that EA no longer has the Star Wars license, and that there's going to be a lot of different Star Wars games.
They do until 2023 still.
Yes, exactly. But the fact that
we won't see any new games for a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, still 2023 is still
it's still great.
Away. It's not that far.
Yeah.
But the fact that Massive, the guys who made the Division, has they're anticipating making a new Star Wars game. I fucking love the Division. I think it's amazing. If they do something similar, even remotely, whatever they do, I'm gonna play it. I don't really care.
100%.
I'm very excited. That might be the most hyped I've ever been for a video game, based off of like my time in the Division, knowing what they've done in the past. So I'm very excited.
There was EA Star Wars leaked today too, boys, on the Reddit. So Jedi Fallen Order 2 is basically all but confirmed.
Right.
Most likely to pick up directly after the storyline where we finished. Spoilers that they are saying that given the timelines have been a bit more established for where Rebels and Clone Wars and everything kind of settled now, they're predicting that if not the main villain, you'll definitely have some sort of interaction with Darth Maul, and it's going to be built in Unreal Engine 5. So that's out there.
Shit.
And Battlefront 3 is a very good chance that we're going to be going into some sort of open beta, possibly end of this year, possibly early next year. But yeah, those games are most likely predicted to be second half of 2022.
Yeah, and then
I did not think we would see a Battlefront 3.
No, I mean Battlefront 2 had the infamous most downvoted Reddit post in history of Reddit. I mean, still, I think.
But it's in great shape now, though. Like it's at its highest player base in 2 years because they gave it away for free on Epic. Like,
Yeah.
it's doing tremendously well. It's in
Really?
great shape. That is a game that if you love Star Wars, just play a couple of games in
It's great.
surround sound audio, because the thing that they nail is every sound effect, every visual is like authentic as you can possibly get to the movies, and they did that really well. It's just that launch was so crap that
Yes,
was a
yeah.
bummer.
Yeah. Awesome.
You
I'll
see
check
this
it out.
happen often. You see when a game goes onto a platform for like, honestly, SWTOR is doing so well right now because it's on Steam. Like straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Like straight up. You know what I mean?
Because you
Like,
can play
that
the
shit
original
happens.
stories for all 8 characters, like the thing that's the core of this game, for free. Like, you can get to level
Yep.
50, do the storylines for free, and I think that makes a
Yep.
massive difference. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could log back in after 10 years and see that all the gear you grinded for like 100 hours is irrelevant for free. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it's dope.
Very,
That's exactly
excited for
what
more.
fucking happened to me.
yeah. Very excited for more
Yep.
Star Wars content. Like to actually happen. So we'll see what happens in the coming years. So yeah. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Oh, and Grumpy was saying that KOTOR. There's a new KOTOR potentially in
Yes.
development. So
I think so. Yeah, that's what it seems.
All right. In dire need.
That's
of a,
not
of another
not
one.
BioWare is the key
Not
thing there.
BioWare.
BioWare is
Yeah.
confirmed will not. It won't be EA making this. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of excited, but I hope
Curious.
it's set in that universe, but not the combat system. I don't think that combat system is dated very well at all, nor Dragon
agreed.
Age for that matter.
If Larian Studios gets their hands on that, that's what I want, man. I
I said
that.
this today. I said this today on the pod when we said who is your dream studio. I said Larian. So yeah, I am in your head, son.
I don't know. I will be like a pig in shit. I will be so stoked for that.
100%.
That's where you go with.
Absolutely. So,
Oh, I love you.
all right. I think that concludes our pod today. I know we kind of went a little longer than usual, but Chew, thank you very much for coming on and talking to us about
Always a
video games,
pleasure,
man.
too.
Always
My pleasure, man.
appreciate
Looking forward at the other half of the cultural exchange program. We got one of you guys on this coming Friday, so that's going to be awesome. And then we'll
cool.
figure out some kind of ongoing thing from there if it works for everyone.
it. Yeah. Spoiler
Big
alert. It's
fan of
me.
that.
So.
Yeah,
Boom.
I figured that was the case. 'Cause I didn't know anything about it.
Oh, by the way,
Wait a minute. I mean, I
Not
thought it
me.
was me, and you said nothing to me about it, man.
Absolutely.
I've been exposed. I promised them all a date.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, you
I'm
just
about that
double
life.
booked
I
yourself.
Love
It's
it.
fine. Anyway, Chew, where can people find you and the podcast so people can take a listen to it when when I'm on it for you with you guys next week?
Yeah, definitely. So the YouTube versions go up on youtube.com/AlterNerd Reality. We're on all the podcasting platforms as AlterNerd Reality. And we're slowly getting back into the socials. And we're going to be doing some stuff with the website very shortly as well. So I'm everywhere at Chewburger84. And then the website's alternerdreality.com. But don't go there today. It's kind of a work in progress. We've got some stuff in the background.
Awesome. Cool. And then you can find us at at OG. Oh my God, I'm way off. I spent
okay.
everything on the promo for Noob Energy. You can find us on Instagram at og.podcast. Our Twitter is overachieversp. Our website is ogpodcast.fm, where you can get this episode and every episode where we talk about video games, Star Wars, and some other mobile games that we're kind of sort of playing at this point. So also, if you can, I know Chew helped me out with this earlier this week. We're going to start out the Patreon again right now. We just have 2 tiers of $1 and $5. They're just kind of like, hey, if you want to support us, it's just there. It's patreon.com/OGpod. I'm trying to get the OG podcast thing because there's somebody who has it that doesn't do anything, but I'm talking to Patreon about that. So anyway, patreon.com/OGpod is also in the link in the description below. You want to help us out there. And also, as a reminder, you can get 15% off any purchase at noobenergy.com with the promo code OG15. So thank you guys very much for coming and hanging out with us on a Sunday, a.k.a. Monday morning or Sunday night for Chew. We'll see you guys later on. And subscribe. Oh, I don't know. I don't know those things anymore.
You're doing great, buddy. You're doing great.
Give us a
Swap right.
rate and review on the your podcast platform.
Do some
That
stuff.
helps us out. It helps us out, all that fun stuff. And then
The
we'll
good
just
stuff.
We'll get better at this. Maybe we'll make Dom do it going forward. It's fine.
I used to do it. Remember, you chose it. Listen,
That's true. I
You chose
I
this
did-
life.
I chose this
I was
life.
I remember what I was gonna say when I got disconnected. I was gonna give you a big shout out because when we first started doing this, you were so shy, and in the last couple of years, you've gotten so good at fucking talking. like at doing this, and that's what I was gonna give you a shout out for after you did the noob promo. Yeah, that was great. You nailed it, and you're doing great.
It can only get better from here. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I forgot to ask a question during the podcast too.
It's okay.
I have a real quick before we do get out of here.
Okay, 1 second.
That's fine. Chew, do you have a background when you stream, or do you green screen? I don't remember.
I do one or two. I either do this, but obviously it tightened up. I can't do it from your app for some reason, so I usually tighten it up and like put some of the nerdy shit up there and get rid of a lot of the cables. It's been a long time since I streamed. Like, bear in mind, I'm not the guy to ask. I haven't streamed for like 8 or 9 months. I haven't done YouTube content for
I asked this
a long
because
time.
I'm now about to have my own office, which has not happened in so long. My girlfriend and I have shared an office. I'm gonna have my own office, and I only ever did a green screen because, like, you know, my girlfriend Mallory would be walking around. She'd be doing her own thing, and I didn't want to like have to have her worry about being in this fucking stupid thing I do. And I'm just trying to think: do I still green screen, or do I just have an actual background now? Because I can have my own thing.
Have a background.
I don't know what to do.
Have a background.
Yeah, I reckon it's more like you can kind of tell a little bit more of your story with the background too. Like I started off by doing all the green screen stuff. And there's some stuff that I still do. I think if you're going to do just streaming and you want the ability to do both, the Elgato pull-up screen is probably like the best thing. Oh, you got that already? Yeah. Because then you can do both. Like, set up your background, because then when you're doing like Zooms or interviews and shit like that, just casual, you know, being on a green screen seems like it's too professional almost. So, yeah, I like the flexibility of both. So I just got the pull-up on the side there. I whip it out when I need to. As I said, it's been a long time since I did video, man. But yeah.
I want to be like that cool guy and get a bunch of nice lights in my office.
Which one?
I'm gonna get like, I don't know, like corner lights and all like the fancy lighting in my office is gonna be a thing, I think.
So I've only got 3 for when I do like proper setup. So I have the just the one backing light up there, just on a standard camera mounted pole there. That's just for that backlight, because when you go dark with your background, it kind of makes you pop forward, like it puts focus much more on you. And then I actually have the Elgato streaming lights just mounted on my desk here. They're little portable things.
Oh, I'm not even talking about like camera lighting. I'm talking about like RGB stupid shit. I'm talking about like just stupid shit in my office.
Yeah, I looked into all of that, and it's real fun. But I'm just gonna do just the Thanos gauntlet up there. I usually light that up on my streams, and now my RGB is gonna be the 2 lightsabers, because I've got one of Revan's lightsabers coming as a single blade, so that'll sit up higher, and then I've got a double blade that's gonna sit underneath it. So that's gonna get mounted up on that shelf there when it arrives.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Keen as.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna set my office up. I haven't had my own space in so long. I'm so curious how it's gonna go. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
That's awesome, man.
Maybe I'll stream
that.
I'll stream what building my office.
Yeah, those kind of setup videos, you'd be surprised. Like, they do pretty well, because every man and their dog in 2020 is like, oh, I guess I'm unemployed. I'm just going to be a streamer now, because it's that easy. I'm just going to do it, man.
Yeah.
I'll figure out content and personality as we go, like we all did. We just go, yeah, I can do that. Exactly. I can talk bullshit for an hour.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so funny that you say that, because I see so many people like that out there now, and I'm just like, man, I'm so glad that I abandoned that idea so long ago and just decided to get a real job or create a real job for myself, and now I own my own business, and it's like,
bro, streaming's a real job. This shit takes a lot of time and energy.
No, it's you're not right. I'm not trying to discredit anybody that does it. However, I think it's wildly oversaturated right now, and 100%. I think unless you're,
and the algorithms work against you, man. Like, that whole system is broken. If you're trying to break in now,
good luck.
Even YouTube,
unless you're well, so I primarily do digital marketing now, and I do research for a company, a growing company, as their lead IT guy. And the number one thing that I've learned is that if you are trying to start a YouTube channel or Instagram or any kind of social presence in the digital world, you have to either spend a ton of money on advertisement, or you need to be a celebrity, god tier gamer, or an esports person, or a hot woman, and that's really, or even an overly attractive guy, and it's like it has shifted from Twitch being a place that gamers could just like create a community and do all this stuff into more of a people that are trying to break into it need to be in a popularity contest or winners of popularity contests, so to say, to gain the small amount of people that aren't already dedicating themselves to everybody's channels that have been around for 4, 5, 6 years, you know? And so,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, I think it's funny. Seeing like, you know, I don't know, people in their early 40s trying to start a streaming career,
Yeah.
and I'm like, homie.
It's
like,
real funny going
don't
into
do
like
it,
all the
man.
new betas because like we kind of we jump into all like the Philippines betas for everything, mainly Hebrew on our pod, but I'll jump into some. And like in those, you get all these people who have never done content before, but they see there's an opening, they see no one else is doing it. Kind of
Yeah.
MSF in the old days too, right?
Sure.
And they just go, oh, I guess I'll be that guy. And then like you just hear this monotone voice like talking absolute garbage that's A, not strategic, B, not entertaining. Like it doesn't tick any of the boxes other than I made a video. And then they
Yeah.
get a response because people are looking for content because it doesn't exist yet, and they become the guy for a while. So yeah, it's such a weird time, man. I think if you want to get started, that's kind of the niche at the moment. It is getting into mobile games early and building yourself a small but dedicated following. Like as guys like, you know, Casino and Valley have done specifically for MSF. Trevor's a bit different because he's done a lot of games over a very long period of time. Trevor's done pretty well.
Is that Mobile Gamer?
So
Yeah. Oh, that guy's
he's
just
good
got
people, man. Trevor's
Yeah, I
good
mean,
dude.
I'm not personally. I don't care for his content, but I mean, I can't argue or I can't dispute the fact the dude is definitely runs a business. Like he knows what he's doing and he knows how
He
to.
runs the algorithms, bro. He's very good at it. Yeah.
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 So while I don't, somebody like it's funny that you say that because when you were describing how people get into mobile games and they have such a monotone voice, it literally sounds like every streamer that I came across when I was playing Raid Shadow Legends. Like they're all just like
yeah.
dry as fuck, have no personality, but the game is so boring that it kind of reflects the state of that game, you know?
Yeah.
But people buy into it, you know, because there's not a ton. I mean, it is a popular game, and tons of people play it, and people play it usually spend a shit ton of money on it. And,
I think it's only popular because of the fact it's been advertised so much, though. Like, I'm jealous of
Yeah.
you
One of
guys
the
by
best
having such a
advertising
good
campaigns I've ever
sponsor.
seen in my life. Like,
Well, they throw money at it. Like, we have said no to them, and we haven't done content in like such a long time. And even when we did, we were small time, right? We are still saying no to Raid Shadow Legends money weekly. Because, like we say, look, we are not big enough to piss off our very small group of fans for the
With a Raid
100th
Shadow
Raid
Legends.
Legends fucking ad that day. Like, we don't want to be those guys. The only other company that hits us up just as much as them, they've backed off a little bit now, and I don't know why they were coming at us so hard, was Huawei, the Chinese phone manufacturer.
Wow,
They
really?
wanted us to basically promote the shit out of their new app platform and convince all our listeners that even if they're Apple or Google, download all your games from now on their platform because like they'll match dollar for dollar what you spend and
Shit,
give it
and
back
you
to them,
just
stuff
did
like
it,
that.
Chew. You just got suckered into it.
Yeah, I did for free, but I'd rather do that than be beholden to that crap. But look, the amount of what you had to do for it was basically signing a big thing, like please take all my data. Misplay was the other one that we flirted with the idea of, but that's just getting money for selling everything that you do in video games, and just there's nothing that's lined up with us ethically. That's why we're broke. That's why we're not growing, but we don't care because we're having fun.
Yeah,
You know, our people know we're not going to sell out space that they're going to listen to that. That's why I think it's awesome that you guys have got an awesome sponsor there, man. So yeah, congrats, guys.
Very
Well
funny,
deserved.
very random. Like I said, I went to college with the dude Patrick, and you know he used to
good, man.
also work in production. And what a funny thing to do. He just hit me up out of blue. And I love it. I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, I've
Awesome, man.
always like supporting people who have supported us in a little bit.
Well, and you know, you
as we
hear
can.
like all this shit with like, you know, GSUP and all these other like shitty companies who aren't paying their affiliates, this and that. And like every day Patrick's like, make sure you have your info filled out on the dashboard. Make sure this is correct. Like, make sure you get paid right and on time and all that. It's all, you know, it's just like every day he's saying this, and it's like because he fucking cares about it. You know, it's really good.
Well, the one time we teamed up with a bigger place, we nearly got screwed. We nearly didn't get paid. That was with
sure.
Epic Games, of all places, because they reached out. The first thing we said is, you guys are Epic. Why the hell are you talking to us? Because, you know, there's massive creators out there. That's not us, right? And they're basically saying that, like, bang for buck, they liked people that had audiences in mobile gaming, blah, blah, blah. So they offered us way too much money for what it was. We delivered what they wanted plus a lot more because we wanted them to feel value. And then at the end, just before we're about to do it, and I spent 4 days of Christmas that year doing it because I had to borrow equipment when I was in Australia to meet their deadline. And just before we're about to upload the commitment, they basically said, oh, we want to renegotiate. And we said, well, you just don't get the video. And they said, oh, no, we want it. We just don't want to pay that. And we said, well, I'd rather just break our contract and just let you know that we don't deal with people in bad faith. Eat a dick, basically. Yeah. And I spoke to a couple of guys. Yeah, we told them to eat a dick. And they came back around. Because it wasn't Epic that did it to us. It was their middle company. It was middlemen acting as agents, just brokering the content. And they came back at the 11th hour. We just kind of waited them out. We used the game stonk strategy of, well, I'll be pissed off, and we'll tell that story to any creator that ever tries to work with this middle group, how bad they are. So it's no skin off our nose, but time lost. And they caved at the end of it. They paid us the full thing, and it was the biggest payday we had for A&R in its heyday, if you will. It's all been downhill since then, since we went part-time and casuals.
Hey man,
it's funny because
I've learned that after having a huge bump for career, now that I'm back to doing what I was doing before. So before I was a cinematographer, now I'm back at DITing. I'm like, you know what? I'm perfectly okay with just showing up to my job, doing my job, going home. I'm perfectly okay with that. I used to want to be creative and do all this stuff, have big aspirations. That allows me to do this. That allows me to do a bunch of other stuff behind the scenes. I actually have free time. I can talk to people. And you know what? I find that that's more value to me than a paycheck, a bigger paycheck.
And we're having fun with this pod, man. Honestly, this has been the pod we've wanted to do kind of all along. And MSF kind of got us, enough kind of knowledge to has people listen to us and tell us what we did right, what we did wrong for long enough. And then kind of the best thing we did is we stopped caring in a way listening to people going, I didn't like this episode. I didn't like that episode. We just went, you know what? I'm going to make my dick jokes. I'm going to say my inappropriate shit from time to time. If it fits the context, then it's funny. And, we're going to talk about video games. We're going to talk about nerdy shit. So, yeah, since we stopped doing that, we definitely lost listeners. But the people that stick with us, man, they really, really like what we do. So if it goes no further than that and it's still a hobby, sure. If we can build it, it'll be awesome. But I don't know. People we lost a few people. They labeled us as too bro gamer, which was interesting.
Bro gamer?
Very interesting.
They called us bro gamers because I didn't think we did either. But it's because our patrons, when we do their questions, because we let them ask literally whatever they want, and we will give them an in-depth answer. That feedback came after we played a game of. Actually, we're streaming on Twitch.
We are still streaming,
okay, so we played a game of how can I reword this to Twitch friendly? Bang, marry, or not talk to again. Let's put it that way. You know the game I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
It was like Tomb Raider versus Samus versus Chun-Li, right? And we gave thought out explanations for this stuff as to why we chose.
My favorite thing about that is you named two characters wrong in the fuck, marry, kill there, which makes it even funnier.
Oh, did I? What'd I say?
Yeah, so Tomb Raider, you mean Lara Croft, right?
Oh yeah.
And then for Chun-Li, you meant Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
Yeah, what did I say?
Which makes that even fucking funnier. Which makes that.
All right, I have no idea.
That's
it was Chun-Li, it was Lara Croft, and it was her name's Samus, right?
Samus,
the chick from Metroid. Yeah. So yeah, just little things like that, and we're just it sucks when you lose people that listen to your stuff for a long time.
Somebody asked you that question and said you were bro gamers based off the response.
Well, I think because we'll say things I've given reviews for games of I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. I think I said something that week it's kind of like getting a really toothy blowjob. At the end of the day, you're still getting a blowjob, but it wasn't what you really wanted. Things like that, I'll just say,
That doesn't sound very bro-y to me.
I don't know, but
weird.
that's just the feedback we got. So look, we're finding a core audience. We've really not growing that much, a person a week or something like that. But we're having fun, and that's bleeding through. I think the community we have is awesome. Like guys like Judas, who's in chat right now, they make our recording more fun because they'll give us questions to leap off of sometimes. So yeah,
The questions
Who knows,
is a good
man?
thing. We should start doing that. So, I mean, we take questions like
Yeah.
in chat when we can, especially when we do our MSF stuff. But we're like we're scaling back the MSF stuff. I know we've talked about that for a while, but just due to the scale of work for myself, I know Dom's super busy, especially since he's got a promotion. That
Yeah.
we have to.
It
we have
hasn't
to
happened
scale
yet,
things
and that's
back.
also not.
I'm
he's
giving
not
you
watching
the
it.
benefit of the doubt.
I know, but that's also not public knowledge. But
didn't say
no
what
one's,
it
not
was.
like anyone in my company is watching it right now.
I didn't say what it was. I just said you got a promotion.
Okay, thank you.
Fair enough. Anyway,
He got a
with
promotion
that-
in his alliance.
Exactly.
Ew.
Exactly. He got promoted to not playing anymore. So there you go. Anyway, let's go raid Shanxi because he's playing Rust right now. We're
He
playing
got
something
promoted to
right
lead Ding Dong.
Okay, stop saying the word promoted.
now. Promoted? Let's go promote Shanxi real quick. So,
Let's promote Noob Energy Drink.
promote. Yes, exactly. Yes. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming out for this podcast. This will be out on Tuesday. I'm going to go edit this tonight. And yeah, go hit that raid button for Shanxi. We'll see you guys later. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Later.
Is there even a raid button?
There is a raid button, yeah.
But like whenever we raid someone, it automatically raids for me. I only have the leave button.
Dude, it's funny. We were talking about how people become
All right, see you guys
successful
later. Bye.
on. We were talking about how people become successful on Twitch, and I follow